Our journey has been arduous. Tiamat's reign has divided us, but no longer.
But Lady Bellona...
Have some faith, Merlin. They're gods.
What if we're not ready?
Then we'll fall united.
My liege, be on your guard.
The child and the daggers are no match for our gods!
This is not the end. For there is no end. Death, life, destruction, creation, threads of the same fabric. No matter who you worship, where you call home, we are all connected in this life. And in the face of destruction, you can despair alone or persevere together. This is not a world built in your image.
No. It is a better one.
Shiva. Oh, my webcam is not even plugged
Introducing Shiva, the Destroyer, the newest god coming to Smite and the first god of Season 9.
This might come as a surprise to a lot of our diehard fans. For years, we had announced publicly that we were stepping away from the Hindu pantheon due to the difficulties with promoting their releases.
But we heard you. You wanted a new Hindu god, and we are so happy to introduce Shiva to the world of Smite. Working side by side with a consultant, we wanted to ensure we were as respectful and lore accurate as possible with his kit and design. We hope you all love the care that went into our first Hindu god since Ganesha came out in April 2017.
Known as the Destroyer,
Hindu god hasn't come out?
The balance of Shiva's true nature. As he ends the universe, he also creates it anew. This aspect of destruction and bliss was a central thematic point throughout Shiva's design and gameplay.
Shiva's the first Hindu god since Ganesh. Haven't seen him in a minute.
What are you talking about? Ganesh is on Hey Zeus all the time.
Let me address the elephant in the room. We wanted Shiva as the guest.
Shiva balances these two states of being, hindering his enemies or alternatively blessing his allies on the battlefield.
Whoa! They're just showing his abilities immediately?
Shiva
it's not even 3:30. I wasn't ready for this, man.
We can't wait for you to try Shiva when he releases in February 2022. But Shiva isn't the only god coming out in Season 9.
That's right, Shiva is just the first of 6 gods we have planned for 2022. And with it being Hi-Res Presents, we have to give you a sneak peek. Let's take a look at the upcoming gods for Smite Season 9.
Oh my god, they're already...
World premiere.
No, I'm not ready, dude! I thought this wasn't starting till 3:30! Why are they just going?
Worshippers,
oh no.
gods and goddesses.
Okay.
Gaze into the night sky and to the stars within. Destruction, creation, beats of the same rhythm, and all connected to Shiva, the Destroyer.
He's the Destroyer? Didn't he just bring peace?
Their petals, carried on heaven-bound winds. Beyond the cerulean sky and among the clouds rests a majestic palace, and within, beyond the cerulean sky. For those of renown, for those that seek nothing before honor, for those that swear the oath, the knights await, alongside a seat at the round table.
Wait, is that another thing from Arthurian?
Rain down from the heavens, arrows without oaths to keep, nor fates to weave, but for the battleground. Yet, like all things, war passes like the tides. The sun sets between sea and sky in a place of wave and ire.
I have no idea.
The
Don't say
sun
Rambo?
will again rise, and so too will a hero. The end.
Jesus.
Much like our beginning, is a celebration. The journey in between calls for revelry, for it is what unites us. The stars.
I can't even guess a single god.
As endless as the night sky. What tales will they hold for you?
Why is Lore Lady so thick, dude? 2 seconds here. Boop.
We hope you enjoyed your first look over Season 9's new gods. Now, let's talk about maps and game modes. Last year, for the first time, we introduced 4 seasonal updates of the Conquest Map.
From the thunderous skies of the Rising Storm update to the snow flurries in the Winter Deadwood, we
I was not ready for this,
Conquest
man.
That not only changed the map's visuals, but also introduced gameplay elements to create new experiences to the Conquest mode.
Here we go.
Season
Okay, I'm
9
good.
will be releasing 3 additional updates to the Conquest Map in 2022. Each of these updates will come with their own new visuals and gameplay experiences.
Today we're going to take a look at the first of 3 new maps coming in 2022. Here's your first look at the new map design for Season 9.
World premiere.
World premiere.
As Tiamat's
Whoa,
reign
it's like a
fades
jungle.
from memory,
It's like an
so
actual
too
jungle.
do the tributes in her honor.
Who is that?
As
Oh,
old
that's a...
gods fall,
Whoa.
A new era rises. An era of destruction.
Oh, they got like... Is this Hindu or is this an Egyptian
era of
theme?
Creation
What is that?
of Shiva.
Shiva. That map looks nice. I thought that was a god, man. That looked like Kali's sister.
Introducing Season 9 Conquest, the Dharmic Era.
The
As Shiva
Dharmic
seeks
Era.
balance on the battleground, his influence has wide-reaching effects on the Conquest map. On the Order side, his presence has changed the environment to evoke elements of the Hindu pantheon. On the Chaos side, Tiamat's castle is now overgrown as her rule subsides.
The biggest feature
Oh, that's so
of Season
cool.
9 Conquest is the brand new Obelisk objective.
Obelisk.
The goal of the Obelisk is to bank away offerings found during a match or at new marked camps.
When a team completely fills the Obelisk with offerings, both teams will receive XP and gold based on their offerings. The team that completely fills their Obelisk will receive a powerful reward, Indra Scepter. The Scepter has 2 awesome modes. When enemies are nearby, it will attack up to 5 enemies simultaneously. If no enemies are nearby, the Scepter will heal all nearby allies and structures.
We're also introducing
Structure
a new
healing.
NPC, the Naga. Taking down this NPC will drop a bounty of tokens that you can use to fill your obelisk.
This is just the first of 3 Conquest updates on
That's
the
an
works for
interesting new
Season 9,
objective.
and we'll have even more on Conquest during the update show later today at Hi-Res Showcase. But it's not the only mode we want to talk about today. Now, let's check out an announcement for a returning feature coming to Smite.
Returning
In
feature.
2017, we introduced a couple of new game modes called Adventure.
No way,
These modes include
dude!
game
Yes!
modes you wouldn't expect
Yes!
from Smite.
Please!
Anime-inspired Horde mode.
Okay, no, but...
PvE dungeon crawlers.
Yeah?
And Smite cards.
Woo!
Now, 5 years later, Smite adventures are returning. And while you won't be seeing cards or dungeons, the 2 adventures we're releasing this year will be brand new experiences, free for all players.
I can't believe Smite Adventures are back! Smite car!
Smite car is not happening.
I left something in my car. I'm gonna be right back.
Smite car, come on, man! Ed! Where is it? Oh my Jesus. Smite car, man! Dude, adventures.
Shiva, Conquest.
What was that?
Season 9 gods, adventures.
Dude,
This
there's
is just
so
a
much
taste
happening
of
at
what we have in
once.
store for Season 9.
Why did they do
And while
that?
Not every member of Titan Forge could be at the studio today. We still have a few more announcements that the team can't wait to show you.
She nailed it.
Yo, I fucking nailed that shit.
Cut to the people at home for a fast-paced announcement supercut.
Cue
Cue the montage.
This year, we're introducing a new
I thought that was
component
Ed
for item
again.
system that we are calling Glyphs. 5 chosen items will now have a glyph slot available, which will allow you
What?
to add additional passive effects to the items.
Oh,
you fulfill.
shit!
Like Calamitous
Tier
Rod of
4s.
Tahuti's glyph, which calls down a meteor when you successfully hit an enemy god.
What?
That's not all. We're also giving the Relic System a major overhaul, with all relics getting 2 new Tier 3 upgrades.
Oh my god,
One,
Tier
which is
3
more in line
relics,
with the
dude,
relic's
let's
identity,
go!
And another one that adds something fresh.
Last year, we
I
released some
couldn't
of our
read it.
biggest battle passes yet, and in Season 9, we're starting the year out with all new skins for Daji, Nike, Poseidon, and Thanatos. We'll have more info on this battle pass during our Season
Let's go
9 update
Thanatos.
show later today during Hi-Res Showcase.
And hey,
We can't forget about this year's ranked reward, introducing your Season 9 ranked reward, Grave Golem.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
We also have a number of quality of life improvements planned for the year, including updates to our custom match options. We'll be introducing QOL features throughout the year, so watch the official Smite blog on SmiteGame.com for more updates.
And finally, this year saw some of Smite's biggest crossovers so far, and we'll have more amazing ones in 2022. We don't have anything ready to announce just yet, but instead, please accept Odin as a hot dog. I assure you, this is real.
Well, well, well.
Excuse me?
Look who's back with a vengeance.
Isaiah, where have you been?
I had a B plot that was cut for time. Classic.
You're up next, dude. Get on stage. Time to go hard or
Die hard.
Dude, I will say, Hi-Rez has improved. They're like cinematic shit that isn't as cringe. Okay, you know what?
Love it.
Earlier in the show,
I'm just kidding, but this is very well done in comparison to their usual. Like a few years back, like it used to be really cringe. This is actually, this is enjoyable, man. I'm impressed.
We wanted to show you today. In last year's Hi-Rez Presents keynote, we showed off early concept art of a new game mode the Titan Forge team has been cooking up. Now, we're excited to show you all what we've been working on.
This slash. Let's go! Yes, finally! We get to see Slash! Oh, the towers look cool. Slash, bro! Oh, we got a lizard guy! We got the thing from Clash. The Apocalypsis. Slash. Is it actually called Slash, I wonder? What is that thing? I'm glad they're making completely new monsters.
Introducing the newest Smite game mode, Cleage.
Slash!
Okay, Jesus.
That's way better. Introducing the newest Smite game mode, Slash.
Okay, I'm gonna
mode
close this
incorporates
because
our
they
favorite
keep
elements of
spoiling
Siege,
shit for me.
like a
shut
summonable NPC and the 5v5 teams of Clash on a
summonable
all-new
NPC.
map inspired by the Maya and Egyptian pantheons. This map is designed to allow for more team fights with more meaningful objectives and lanes spread across the map. And the best part is, every Smite player can queue up and play Slash for free when it launches with Smite Season 9 this January. We'll have Slash available to play on PTS later today on PC, following the Season 9 update show. And for our PS4 and Xbox players, we'll have it available later this weekend on console PTS. Fingers crossed.
Clash and Siege shipping together? My Slash fiction has become a Slash reality.
And that wraps
So
up our
that comes
Smite
out
announcements
today?
and our Hi-Rez Presents
Oh, good lord.
2022
We got a lot of
keynote
videos to record.
presentation. Sincerely, thank you to our fans around the world for joining us. Today, we focused on our existing games, Smite, Paladins, and Rogue Company. But we wanted to talk about one more project in the works. Our first UK-based studio, Redbeard Games, has been hard at work on a new title for PC and consoles.
Is this
And
the
while we're
Smite
not
Blitz
quite
thing?
ready to show it off to the world just yet, we wanted to give you, Hi-Rez's biggest fans, the first chance to play our new game. Starting today, you can sign up to be a part of our upcoming closed alpha and be one of the first to get an early look at our next game. Head over to hirezstudios.com/alpha test to sign up. We can't wait to see what you think of Redbeard Games' new project and to build this game alongside our closed alpha community. And now we're really wrapping up. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in today. We couldn't do any of this without you. Yes, you being along for the ride. That's a wrap for Hi-Rez Presents 2022. We'll see you next time.
Dude, I didn't realize this, like, what?
Wow, that
Started so early.
kind of went off without a hitch.
Yeah,
Actually, really love that movie.
a little too well. Almost as if it was planned. Almost as if it was written by someone. As if it was some grand design. Almost as if it was part of
Our Graham design. As Hi-Rez Presents ended, so too ends another year of Smite. And though this tale was one of strife, it was truly a tale of the friends we made along the way.
This is well done, man. I'm impressed with Hi-Rez.
Another successful Smite script. And and another successful Smite year. And now on to write 2022 with my good hand.
Let's get to it, boys.
What's up, Smite fans? Welcome
Okay.
to the Season 9.
I need you guys to place your bets. How many times is Hi-Rez Dandy gonna say he's terrified?
We have so many awesome things to go over.
How many times?
With me. Welcome, guys. How are y'all doing?
I'm guessing at least 15.
Really well. New year. Refund.
Twisted.
New season, always exciting.
Couldn't agree more. So today we have a ton of stuff to go over. We have community news, obviously we have balance, and a whole bunch of new stuff to talk about. New events, new battle pass. There's so many things to talk about that I think it's time to dive right into it by talking about our new Conquest map.
Yeah, so this season we are changing Conquest again. This one is going to have a lot of changes, both visual and gameplay. We have the
That looks really nice.
themed Conquest map coming up for 9-1, which is very exciting to call out to Smite's next god, which will be arriving.
What is that? Look at the update show thing.
True that. Let's get a little preview of the map here. For this video.
As Tiamat's reign fades from memory, so too do the tributes in her honor. Yet, as old gods fall, a new era rises. An era of destruction. An era of creation. An era of Shiva.
Shiver these nuts in your mouth. Oh, I was the first one to do it, so that's my thing. I patented it.
It looks so good.
An era of Shiva. I know. So excited. So let's talk about it a little bit. There are a lot of things that kind of were showed off in that video, but AJ, how about you hop in by just talking about some of the new things that we saw there? What can people look forward to?
AJ.
So the first thing you're going to notice is art changes. The lighting has been changed to a more daylight lighting,
I like that.
which is something very different from what we were just used to. We were experiencing actually one of the darkest, dreariest themes in Conquest history with the winter
Everyone's
theme.
so depressed.
Now we're going back to broad daylight. This is even very different than the
Are they, like,
season
much
8
louder than me,
sunset
chat?
lighting. And this is really strong conveyance of Shiva and the era of peace that he's going to be bringing to the Smite universe. So on the Order side, we see a temple to Shiva that's been built alongside Mount Olympus to show that these two powers are ruling together side by side equally with each other, not one above one another. And you're also going to see the Chaos side has become overgrown as Tiamat has abandoned her intimidating temple that was kind of looming over the Olympians and is now being overgrown by nature, or even being recovered or rebuilt or stripped for parts by the mortals that have moved into the area.
That is super cool. It also looked like there was some kind of pillar there. What's that about?
All right, so we have the obelisk. Exactly. And we have some really big gameplay mechanics coming with our new objective called the obelisks. So obelisks are a new map objective that works in a loop that kind of overlaps the rest of the Conquest gameplay. So each team has an obelisk on their side of the jungle. These obelisks are reservoirs of power that the team can power up by collecting offerings. So what'll happen is that the obelisk will become active. When that happens, a lot of things on the map will change. There will be different indicators and things to let you know what is spawning and what is worth offerings. And players who go and slay the proper camps will be able to pick up these offerings. You won't have to carry them back to the obelisk. Just pick them up anywhere to score a point for your team. And at the end of the cycle, whichever team has completely filled their obelisk will get a bonus new jungle buff. And there will also be experience in gold rewarded on how much you fill it. And Pawn is very excited about. There's also some very interesting reactions.
I saw a smile the moment that they mentioned the
camps
obelisk. It's funny.
And the obelisks.
It's wholesome.
Because they will actually respawn at different times along with the obelisk.
Pawn Mun's like, you watch, you
really
shut up.
interesting
You let him talk
jungle
about the obelisk.
optimization and jungle clearing type mechanics in Season 9.
That's super awesome. Super exciting, too. I'm really excited to see all of that in the map and live in the game. Pawn, what are you most excited about for this new map?
I mean, for the new map, obviously the art style, but also the the reward for the obelisk, the scepter, I think that's the thing that's going to be really, really cool for people to play with.
Is that an Among Us thing in the background?
Awesome. I'm excited to see that in game. So next up, we're going to be talking about some of the new features that we're bringing to the Battleground beyond just the new map changes. And the next new features are going to actually be an upgrade to our Relic system that involves a bunch of awesome new relics. And I have some new team members here to talk with me about that. So let's get right into it. The new Relic system is going to involve some really cool new branching trees for all of the relics. Tier 3s for pretty much everything that exists, and just so many changes. So let's get right into it. I now have Clumsy here with me and AJ. Clumsy, how are you?
I'm doing well. Really excited to get into Season 9.
Dude, that's a good mic.
Awesome. Super excited for it. So let's start talking about this new Relic system. What's going on? What's going to happen with it?
They usually did this in the office, right?
So you're still going to have the first relic at level 1. You're still going to have your second relic at level 12. But like you said, you're going to have a third relic now. That's going to be an upgrade from your previous ones. You'll have your tier 1, which is still going to be free. You're going to have your tier 2, which is now going to be a reduced cost of 300 gold. And then your tier 3 options, which are going to be 800 gold. They are not going to be level restricted to be able to purchase and upgrade through them. You'll be able to upgrade from tier 1 to tier 3 just based on that cost.
Dude, shit's going to be expensive. Things are going to be expensive, man.
That some of them are
tier
pretty
4
wild.
items.
I've heard that the way it works
tier 3
is
relics.
there's some that maybe fall more in line with the base relic itself, and some that kind of spice it up a little more. So, are there any of them that you want to talk about?
I hope they balance the tier 2s then of the relics. If
Yeah, absolutely. We can spoil. I mean, the patch notes are gonna be out. We might as well get through a few more of these. So we talked about. We had a little spoiler online of temporal beats is coming back and to an extent. So we've got
a radical new effect
for bee purification beads is gonna be. You obviously
that's gonna have such a big effect on Duel.
You're now gonna be reducing your active cooldowns by 3 seconds on use. So that's coming back into the game. It's really exciting.
Very exciting.
With beads?
Another one. So actually, there is one change coming with the relic, is that there's one relic that's going to be removed from the list, and that's going to be Phantom. And instead, we're going to be bringing the Phantom effect into Magic Shell's upgrades. So we're going to have Phantom Shell, which basically is kind of what
that's kind of cool.
The Magic Shell effect, you'd also be gaining
what the fuck?
50% reduced damage from basic
that's
attacks.
So nice. What the
allies
fuck?
to phase through player and player-made walls during that time.
So along with all of these new relics.
I'm so excited to see all these relics.
Some big changes like Phantom Shell. We have some relics.
What about new items are coming to the game?
A lot of balance changes, a lot of adjustments, and then also just having 2 completely new upgrades for every relic in the game. It's quite a lot to learn.
For every relic? Oh my god!
We're not going to go over everyone in real specific detail here on the show, but we encourage you all to go read the patch notes.
I'm going to go read it at the end of this, so don't forget to stay. I bet those there's no way that you think Combat Link is back?
Oh yeah, definitely do that. All of that's listed in the patch notes that y'all can check out
CC
right
Immune
now.
Aegis, dude, no way.
So
you think there's gonna
be? There's the amount of items there. It's gonna be a read. You're gonna have so many new gameplay styles you can take on, so many ways to
I'm so excited for the season, man. Holy shit.
Late game, so many new paths you can build. It's so exciting. I'm super
Season
excited.
8 didn't even feel like a huge
go
change.
In game for one too. Let's check it out.
Yeah, we have one more teaser and we're gonna show that off.
Dude, this reminds me of season 1.
Which one are we looking at here?
That looks like an
We're going
Ankh.
to be looking at Drowned Ankh. So you can see something immediately different happen there. So obviously Ankh, you're still going to be having the healing reduction effects, but you're also going to be having this pool of miasma. So when a god is healed by those abilities, they're also going to be dropping that miasma pool that deals a % health on a per tick basis. And everything that you see here is still a little bit of a temp state, so the numbers might be a little bit high, and we have some balance going on, and we're going to be using PTS too. But yeah, that's the third variation that we're showing off today.
So if you get hit by Drowned Ankh and then heal, you're actually going to be dropping damaging areas that are scattered within your own team's areas that you're going to have to watch out for and dodge if you get hit by that relic.
That's cool.
That also refreshes the Ankh debuff itself. So.
Yeah,
oh my god! What the fuck? That's busted! And like, oh my god! Imagine that in Assault!
That's just a taste, There's many more relics on those patch notes that have all sorts of
oh my god!
Here's a full look of all of the new relics.
Look at all the designs!
We also updated all of the relic art for the tier 1 and tier 2.
Oh my god, yes, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, you can see also that there's a couple.
Look at Thorns! Thorns look sick!
We have a completely new artwork there. Belt of Frenzy too.
Look at this. These all look so pretty.
That, we bring these relic upgrades into tier 3s, and we kind of bring everything to a new level.
That's so neat, man. That looks so good.
Yeah, it's truly exciting, and you'll be able to again read about
the
all
artwork
of
looks so
update
pretty.
notes,
Dude, look at Belt of Frenzy.
to start getting
Look
in
at
and winning
Sunder.
these games in exciting new ways.
Belt of the Berserker.
I'm
So it's
super
called Belt
excited
of Frenzy
to
now.
be able to share all of these with y'all.
Chaotic
as well as
beads.
another new addition that we're adding to the game coming with 9.1, and that's going to be a system that we are calling Glyphs. Glyphs are going to be
Where the fuck
another
she come
new
from?
addition to the base items in the game. And now we have Lermy here to help us talk about these glyphs. How are you, Lermy?
Tier 4. Oh, damn. Oh! Uh-oh. Anyone, can anyone read lips?
That was excellent and very quiet as well. No, but so while we're working on this, are you good? Lermy.
Oh, no. Oh,
Okay,
no.
How about Clumsy? How about we go ahead and talk about these glyphs? So it's apparently a tier 4 for certain regular items. How's that working?
Yeah, that's exactly true. So we have kind of like relic upgrades. We've got branching tier 4 alternatives now for 5 specific items that we're going to be bringing forwards into the game. And so the big difference between glyphs and just
Damn,
what
he's
tier
got
4
a
items
power
are
bar
is
on the
that
back.
The
He's
glyphs
flexing.
will not be bringing increased stats to these items. It's really just going to be an additional passive effect. And we're going to be seeing 2 different ways that we're going to be utilizing that.
Okay, that's a little more balanced then.
Ooh, that's super exciting. So, let's get into some of these, right? Because I assume that this is going to be a way, again, to help diversify these late game builds, to help you decide on how you can counter the enemy team based on what their build is looking like. And again, as you get late game, sometimes you're like, all right, well, I already have my full build. How can I counter what I'm
Spoiler
facing? How
shocking.
can I turn this around? And I assume this is going to help people with being able to add those additional effects and select those to either help bridge the gap in a game that you might be behind in, or maybe further your lead in the game you're dominating in. Is that right?
I'm so curious to read all these, man.
Exactly. So like I said, there's going to be...
This is all moving
tier
so
3
fast.
to
There's
tier
so
4
much in
items,
this
the
season,
glyph
dude. It's
items will not have
crazy.
any different stats, but adding additional passive will help you kind of cater
Oh
your
my
builds,
God.
like, exactly like you were saying. towards
Last
what the enemy
season
might
they
be
added,
doing.
like,
And,
2
that's gonna
items.
mean some of these glyphs, some of these items, and some of these characters that are going to be using them.
This
will
is
have
like
slightly,
50
larger
different
power
new
spike, but
things.
we
It's
wanna
crazy.
really see how this goes. And like I said, we can go off into, just like we did with the relic upgrades, we can be talking about 1 or 2 of these, and we might be able to see one in game as well. So starting off, I think we're going to talk about Malicious Deathbringer. So this is one of the variants that we're talking about with glyphs, where actually we're going to be calling the item pool for some of these items, and one of these is going to be Malice, an item that a lot of people kind of liked using in very specific circumstances. But with this new glyph system, we're actually going to be removing it from the game and adding its passive effect back onto Deathbringer as a glyph. So this is just one way we're going to be using the glyph system. So Malicious Deathbringer, it's going to have its standard increase on the critical strike multiplier, but you're also going to be getting that cooldown reduction by critical strikes.
If
Just
you
like
spoil
you were
anything,
talking
you're
about. So you'll
instantly
have
banned.
both of those effects.
No questions asked.
That's really handy too, because I feel like, especially for items that have passives that you're in love with, but maybe aren't the deciding factor you feel like for the game, it allows you to pick up those passives and utilize them with the build that you're happier with or you think is more effective, without costing you that item that you would have gotten instead anyway. So by taking some of these more, I hate to say fringe passive effects, but effects that again you pick up, when you're like, I think I want this, maybe it allows you to get that on top of the build that you already are in love with. So that's awesome. I heard there's also one for Rod of Tahuti. What's that look like?
I can't stop looking at the imposter either.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to be bringing Calamitous Rod of Tahuti into the game. And this is unlike the other thing. It's unlike Malicious Deathbringer. We're going to be bringing a whole new passive effect into the game. That's what most of the glyphs we're going to be looking at.
Thank you, Grizzly.
Actually, for Season 9. Or at least for the start of Season 9, because who knows going later on.
Top
Calamitous Rod of Tahuti, whenever you successfully hit an enemy god with an ability, so obviously this is going to be for the magic users, being off of Rod of Tahuti, it'll actually call down a meteor that lands after a short delay, dealing extra damage in a small radius. Obviously, that effect can only happen once with an internal cooldown.
I need to see this in game.
Of course, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's really exciting, too. Oh, hey, we're joined by AJ now. Welcome, AJ. Glad to have you here.
Lermy's Mike.
Yeah, issues like that happen all the time. So, but yeah, we were just talking about Calamitous Rod of Tahuti and how apparently when you damage an enemy god, it sends a meteor after them. So, that's pretty exciting. What are your thoughts on that there, Ajax?
Yeah, it's a interesting way to do new damage type addition onto a on hit of an abilities,
How does this
right?
happen
So
so
this one is actually has some bit of platforming and movement requirement to it. So you get hit with this, but then it's a delayed meteor, so you actually have some time to clear out of the area, right, Clumsy?
Yeah, you're gonna have to be a little bit fast, man. Also, the other thing is your the enemies or your allies, if you're getting the meteor called down upon you, will have some time to react as well.
Right.
That's super exciting. I'm looking forward to big plays with this. I want to see like a cross map snipe where it doesn't kill, but then the meteor flies across the map and gets that finishing.
Exactly.
That's what I'm
Imagine that, dude.
That's gonna be so cool. So I heard that we have one last item we're gonna get to look at called the Amulet of Silence, and that we actually get to see it in game. Am I right?
Amulet of
Yeah, I think
Silence?
Right. This one upgrades from Heartward Amulet.
From Heartward. It's a defense item.
All right. So what do we got here?
So, Amulet of Silence, going off of our Heartward Amulet, like AJ said, well, you'll gain a stack every time an enemy that's nearby uses an ability. And at 5 stacks, your next basic attack against an enemy god will actually silence them for 1.5 seconds. So there you go. There's the silence. You're going to be gaining that benefit on an internal cooldown whenever you're in the kind of the thick
basic
things,
attack, but it's a support item.
A powerful effect on use.
Yeah, that's
interesting
too, especially for those big team fights, right? Because there'll be abilities flying all over the place. So you'll be able to, if you can time that correctly, maybe.
Mods, please ban people that literally spoil anything, please. Guys, be faster, please.
Area of effect, magical protection aura to your team at the same time.
That'll be great for a tank who engages. You're gonna dive right in. They're gonna throw abilities. You're gonna get this up, silence your target, and again, that could pivot an entire team fight if you use that correctly. That is super exciting, and just another item, another glyph, I guess, that I am just wildly excited to see in game.
There's so much in this patch for this season.
That there are a lot more, or there are more glyphs where that came from. But again, if we talked about everything, the show would be 7 hours long. You can see all of these in the update notes that are out and available now. But now we're going to move on to item balance, and part of item balance is going to be.
I think she's still muted. Take your bets.
Changes. So, welcome back, Lermy, and welcome, Pon. And
there you go.
Glad to have you. Glad to hear you.
Critical strike change.
So let's get into critical strike changes.
Oh,
Lermy,
shit.
you're here. You're talking. What's going on with crit?
So we are changing quite a lot about crit. We're changing the actual algorithm of how crits work itself. So instead of being fully random, now we're going to a sort of pseudo-random algorithm, which will allow us to have a little bit more consistency over when we crit and when we don't crit. And so to kind of accomplish that, the algorithm is changed internally,
that is
but
interesting.
also the actual crit damage multiplier is changed to make it just a little bit less good. Because overall, you will feel like the crit streaks happen a little bit, maybe less, but they're more consistent, right? So when you see them, you know exactly when it's going to happen, and when you're missing, you're not missing forever.
Yep. When you flip a coin 6 times and you get 6 heads in a row, it feels wrong, right? Even though when you flip a coin 100 times, you might get 6 in a row. That could be perfectly common. But you kind of expect it, like when you flip a coin, you get heads, tails, heads, tails. So this will make crit feel more intuitive, less streaks. When you're very high, more consistent
feels
streaks,
more balanced.
because you are very high in crit chance. It should better match onto kind of like human intuition.
That's wild. I don't know what to say to that. Crit is one of those things where it can be hard to deal with. So being able to make it feel more intuitive is incredible, and I'm excited to see it.
So many changes.
So from
Jesus
there,
Christ.
Let's get into some patch stuff. We're starting off with some starters. We have Warrior's Axe getting a nerf to looks like the physical and magical power. What's going on there?
You can't show all that crazy shit, then show me 5 reduced power.
People are picking it up a ton. We're just going to take some of the edge off that item
God,
and reduce some of its
I'm
power.
rock hard, bro. Let me
finish.
finish.
The other starters can compete with it. We've been kind of doing this with all these starters over the course of Season 8. We're going to probably continue doing that into Season 9. But we're seeing a lot of good representation on a whole bunch of items in other roles. Solo lanes have kind of narrowed down still on Warrior's Axe, so we're just tweaking that to try and find a better balance.
Never a bad time to balance a starter. Awesome. Looks like the next one is Bluestone Buff getting a gold decrease. Let's
yes, that's gonna be so good for Duel. I gotta pee. Rebecca, I'm listening
kind of the same idea. So for solo lane, we saw a lot of Warrior's Axe, and thankfully the past changes to Sigil have actually seen some play across the board. So we'd love to see that. But Bluestone is kind of the one item that seems to be a little bit further away in play count. So we wanted to just make it a little bit more accessible, but not too accessible that it gets more time in Hunter and even mid occasionally. So we want to just make sure that this is still solo lane oriented, but again, more accessible.
Awesome. Sounds good. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of that. Next up, Seer of the Jungle has a buff. Looks like a buff to protections, amount of damage to jungle monsters. What's going on, Pawn?
Yeah, so Seer of the Jungle has that unique ability to see wards kind of attached to it. And that's one that we were kind of actually really afraid of when we first put it in the game. But we've seen now that that's something that could, because of the game, and be pretty healthy. We're just going to make that upgrade compete better with all the other upgrade choices. So extra prots, more damage to jungle monsters, and 30 seconds to actually utilize that buff duration. It's going to be pretty impactful.
Yeah, sounds like it. I'm sure that jungle roamers are going to enjoy that, getting their ward clear. So we also have looks like protection of the jungle buff is getting an upgrade to the physical power. What's going on there, Lermy?
Yeah, so what we've been seeing a lot in the SPL is that people are picking up Eye of the Jungle, which it hasn't been like that for a while, so it's awesome to see a new jungle item take control. However, what isn't so great is seeing them sell Eye of the Jungle at the end of the game. So what we wanted to do is kind of give a little bit more power to both of the upgrades, a little bit more to Seer, because Seer, of course, basically never got picked up, but we still want them to upgrade Eye of the Jungle at the end of the game, so hopefully this gives a little more incentive to pick up this really awesome item.
Yeah,
awesome. I'm sure it will. Nothing wrong with a little power bump. Next up, looks like Tainted Steel is getting a buff. Again, just a cost reduction. We're taking 50 coins off. Why are we doing that, Pawn?
Yeah, it's just a neutral starter item.
Why are we
kind
doing
of a
that?
counter matchup for especially healers, especially like in a Soul Lane matchup. We've seen some cheeky play elsewhere, but
What's the hype
that's
train,
where it's
boys?
mainly used. And so making it so that you have an extra potion when you start with it is going to be a pretty impactful buff to it.
Yeah, never bad to hit lane with more pots. So that does it for the starters. Looks like we're moving on to regular items now, starting with Mystical Mail, getting kind of a nerf. Looks like a decreased damage aura. And a little bit more. Lermy, what's going on?
Yeah, so Mystical Mail has been very prevalent as a really good option to help proc the Warrior's Axe. And since Warrior's Axe has been so dominant, and this item helps you to clear a lot, we just don't want that to be as viable anymore as just like an item to freely clear the wave. So, because of that, we're taking down that aura damage, so that little proc that you get every single time that Mystical Mail goes off. It's just getting the damage decreased a little bit because we want it to be a little bit less of a crutch when it comes to your lane clear. And we want it to be a little more give and take. If you want that extra damage, you're going to have to give up a little more for that now.
Well, I mean, I'm happy to see it. I'm kind of tired of getting run down and having Mystical Mail get that final tick. I'm like, oh, I made it away.
It's odd that they nerfed
just right out from under me.
Axe as well
next
as Mystical.
up, it
That
looks
was
like
the
Pridwin
problem.
also getting a nerf to the shielding. Looks like the percentage is going down a little bit. So why is that happening, Pon?
Yeah, Pridwin is just very effective. It gives you a lot of prots, gives you that cooldown reduction, gives you powerful trigger effect on your ultimate usage, and that potency has seen it be commonly used. We're just going to take the edge off of that
Mystical
shield,
Nerf
make it so
seems a
that
little odd.
when players engage
I know it's
against
very popular,
you're
but-
going to have a little bit more risk of dying. It's less protections.
Fair enough. Awesome.
Poor
Next up is
solo
Bulwark
laners.
of Hope getting a little bit of a nerf. Again, looks like a little bit of a
Damn.
decreased shield thing going on. So what's happening there, Lemmy?
Well, to get that new
Yeah, we do have a little bit of a common theme in these balance notes that we're trying to tone down the effectiveness of shields and shielding items. So this is just another one of those shielding items that we've been seeing getting picked up a little bit more frequently than we'd like. After Bulwark got its soft rework over
The whole
the
Bologna
past
build
couple
gone.
of patches, we've been delighted with how it's been performing, but it's time to tone it down just a little bit.
Fair enough. So next up, looking like Telkind's Ring getting a nerf as well. Magical power dropping by 10. Why is that happening, Pom?
Anything ever getting a
Lermy was
buff?
actually a bit more involved in this change, so she would probably be better to ask for.
All right, lay it on me, Lermy.
Yeah, so we're actually seeing a bit of a strange conundrum right now in Conquest where magical ADCs are kind of doing a lot of the work that mages are. So instead of really like true central mages, we're seeing a lot of magical ADCs, whether that be Freya, Soul, even a little bit of Chronos here and there. Olaren also is another character that gets a lot of play. But really, we have a couple of items that are coming up to make mages in general better. So we just want to make sure that
This
those
is just
characters
as loud
that are
for you
already
guys,
strong
right?
in the magical ADCs are not
Yeah.
too strong. So
The volume
even though
didn't
we are
change for
taking
you
out
guys,
power
right?
here, there's power in other items that will be making them feel a lot better as well.
Got it. All right, well, I'm excited to see that. And next up, looks like Voidstone getting a little bit of a buff as
Should've
well.
allowed for me.
Adding some health and some magical protection aura.
Damn.
Pawn, what you got for me on that?
Yeah,
That's a
so you'll
big
actually see
buff.
a few of these changes coming up are all kind of in the same theme. We have these kind of utility items that support
Jesus, that is a huge buff.
team. In this case, Voidstone bringing that magic
15%
reduction to your team. And they're just not quite as effective as they can be. So with Voidstone, we're going to be increasing its health, so it's a bit more tanky. You're bulkier when you pick this up, and you're going to be helping your mages out a bit more when you have that magic protection or a debuff from Voidstone.
That is a big buff, dude.
Super handy. Great for those engaged tanks for sure. Making sure you
Show us
get
the
in there
skins. I want to see how
get your
terrified he
mages
is.
being super hurtful, I guess. Next up, we have Emperor's Armor getting a buff as well. Increased health and increased tower attack speed buff. So
this is a fun one.
50% extra attack speed. That's
really
scary.
excited for this change because not only is Emperor's Armor getting a little bit of a stat buff, it is getting that extra
You think
bit
they're gonna
of
add new
passive
items
power as
other
well
than the tier
from
4s?
the defensive buff. We decided not to buff the offensive tower effect because tower diving is still pretty common in Smite. We feel like that this item kind of enables that a little bit more, and we feel like the better experience is to really win those tower defenses rather than to overwhelmingly stomp a tower siege. So this effect is going to make your tower Phoenix, whatever it might be, it's going to literally be shooting rapid fire. Okay, maybe not, but you know what I mean. It's going to be feeling significantly faster. And hopefully that defensive effect comes through and you get to feel it in your games.
Super exciting. Hey, love to have the tower be more of a teammate. So always happy to see that it wants to defend itself as much as I want to defend it. Next up, we have Jade Emperor's Crown. And it looks like we're getting some increased health and a little bit of increased physical power or a debuff. What's going on there, Pawn?
Yep, same as the other two. It's kind of this aura utility item you can pick up to help your team out. It wasn't quite as effective. It's getting that extra health to help you feel like a tank when you pick it up.
Assault
and
is going to be fucking chaos next
feel
season.
More impactful
That
when you
much
pick it up.
I will
Now,
say.
if you're trying to defend your mages from like a backline diver, you can.
That's going to be so AIDS in Assault. Like, one person's always going to build Emperors.
Awesome.
You're going to have that anti-heal shit.
Hammer getting kind of a stat rework. Looks like we're
So
switching
different.
around a little bit. There's a couple different things here. Dive into it for me.
Yes, this one is actually super interesting, and I'm really excited to go into the details of how this works. But basically,
What's its
we
passive?
are moving Blackthorn Hammer off of the Shillelagh tree and sending it over to the Heavy Hammer side of things. And that allows us to kind of shift around the stats. And so you can see that it's still the same price, has a little bit less power, and now has protections on it, as well as a little bit less health. But the biggest key here is that this change to Blackthorn allows it to be the more defensive hammer. We see a lot of these hammers are really based around health, but
its
this
passive
is the
is just
only
gone
one
now?
that's going to have prots on it. So not only is this item going to help you with that mana restore, but now it's more defensive as well.
My god, dude, my hair is like a whole lump.
Awesome, and it looks like we're getting something similar for a Runeforged hammer. It looks like it's also having some switch ups. You wanna
Fuck
get
off.
that one as well?
Yeah, so this one is going to be the more
You're telling me there's no Runeforged passive anymore? No way.
Power on top of it. It's still keeping the passive where you do more damage to CC'd enemies, but you're also getting a little bit
The
of
passive's
sustain
still
in
there.
the HP5
No, the
and the
passive's still there.
MP5.
I
So
think the
you're feeling
passive of
pretty
Blackthorn
good now
is still
that
there
you've
too
got this
then.
extra offensive item that
I think
you
we're
can
good.
really use well on CC heavy soul laners.
Awesome. I'd be excited to have a hammer in either hand running down lane and screaming probably. Super cool. Next up, Hide of the Nemean Lion also getting a
I
buff
wasn't
to
set for a
physical
moment.
prots and the time to gain stacks. So what's going on with that, Pawn?
I hate block
this one
stacks.
is
Just
obviously
remove them from the
kinda counter to
game,
base attack item.
dude.
It just hasn't quite seen good enough effectiveness here. So giving that extra 10 protections is going to help out just against all physical, but more specifically, decreasing the time to gain the block stack from 15 seconds to 10 seconds. In between fights, in between poke exchanges, you're going to be seeing more block stacks more often.
That'll be handy. Help, especially with those engages when you're
Didn't
trying
they complain
to
about
get
block
that hunter
stacks
out of the
being
way
ridiculous?
And, you gotta dive on top of all
And
that
then they
damage.
made Nemean have block stacks?
Next up, we have
And they
Berserker
removed it
Shield
from
getting a buff as well. Physical protections are
buff.
going up by 10. What's happening there, Lermy?
I don't like that.
So we haven't seen a lot of basic attack hunters over the past year, and that's kind of a little sad. We don't want to make sure that all of our warriors are getting played pretty equally across the board. So we wanted to kind of
let's
do
nerf every
Bologna,
item and then
Ramana,
just
Amaterasu
buffers
a little
one.
bit of a
Every
favor
solo
and
item.
give them a little bit of extra power in this Berserker Shield. So if they try to go into it early to get that attack speed rolling, they'll feel a little bit better about it.
Awesome. I love solo laners, so I'm all about it.
He always
Next
ends
up,
with something
Staff of
positive
Mir
about it.
getting a
It's
buff
funny.
as well. magical power going up, and duration of the passive as well.
Oh, that is a long passive. Isn't that what?
This with a similar theme
Didn't they nerf this so that it went from 8 to 6, and now it's 6 to 8 again?
Underutilized, underperforming, and really giving them a little bit of extra power to help out. But for Staff of Mirrodin, we're going to not only give it some extra power to help it compete in terms of raw DPS, but we're going to extend the duration of the passes so you have more time to play with the cooldown that this item provides.
I want to try that on Hebo.
That's handy. And like you said, we're seeing similar next up. Celestial Legion Helm also getting a magical power buff and decreased physical protection a little bit, though. So what's going on there, Lerby?
So yeah, this is a little bit of a shift on this item. Before it was pretty tanky and not so much in the power direction, but now we're kind of swapping it where we're removing a little bit of the protections, putting a little bit more of the power on it, and this is really going to be helpful to the mages in mid that want to build a little bit more tanky, whether that be your Zhang-Kuis, your Hadeses, any of those kind of characters that want to kind of get in the thick of things and fight right there. This is going to be really helpful for them because they're not giving up as much power to go into this defensive item.
Awesome. Love those tanky mid laners, so definitely a Hades fan. Warlock Staff also getting a buff. Looks like magical power is also going up, so I assume kind of the same thing, right, Pon?
Yep, this one has kind of a fine balance point because it can also stack to be quite potent, as well as it has some other utility associated with it. And so making sure that this item
He's not gonna be
feels like
trash.
it's good to pick up more.
That's the
out
worst
gate
opinion I think I've heard so far.
A nice buff here should help it out.
And Pon, is that the same for Charon's coin?
Seems
which is
so
also
exciting.
Getting a power buff?
It is the same for Karen's coin, although that has a little bit more because Karen's coin and Obsidian are your more big pen items versus Warlock Staffs. And so we can kind of package them a little bit together. We're just looking to make sure that mages as a class overall feel like they really can bring the fight to whoever they're fighting. And so these items, making sure that the tank pen options are strong, make sure that we have that kind of covered. So you'll see Warlock Staff got that buff, Karen's coin got that buff as well as Obsidian Shard will be getting a small cost reduction and power increase to make sure that mages feel like they can build into it.
Stop just whining. Oh my
overall
god.
Economy towards it.
That makes super
Come
sense
back when
too.
you're done whining, please.
You gotta love those penetration builds. You know, you hate when you forget to build pin and a tank walks at you and you throw your strongest ability like a tennis ball at a brick wall. You know, you feel like you did good until it hits it and bounces right off. So cool. Next up, it looks like Rage is also getting some increased power, going from 30 to 35. So learn me why the Rage.
Yes, so this next set of buffs is going to be more catered towards hunters and general crit characters overall, and mostly this has to do with the adjustment to crit, and also the crit scaling itself from 2 to 1.75. So we're just kind of giving crit items a little bit of help, mostly because, again, that bonus damage you're getting is going down, so you're going to be getting a little bit of that back in this 5 power buff to Rage.
Sounds good. Nothing. I mean, it's Rage. It's a good item. Little more Rage damage makes sense. Fail Not getting a cost decrease as well, going down a pretty penny or two. Why are we doing that, Pon?
Yep, same story. It's one of those items that has crit as a component towards it. Since crit's getting adjusted so that the multiplier is lower,
every crit item
making
being
sure
buffed?
These items still feel like they pack the power that they need to. Cost reduction here makes a lot of sense.
Deathbringer now does
500%
more damage.
All about it. And learn me, Deathbringer looks like it's having a couple changes too. Some buffs, increased power, increased crit strike chance, and some cost drop.
Yeah, so this is actually a super exciting change overall, mostly because Deathbringer is one of those glyphed items, so you could upgrade this into Malicious or Poisoned, or Envenom, sorry, Deathbringer.
How much does it cost to upgrade with your 4
so those two together are going to be really awesome combined with this buff. So we're going to be increasing the power on it, again, to kind of compensate for that multiplier difference. We're also going to be giving it a little bit more crit chance to kind of improve how that early crit, I guess, chart goes, because
so much is changing.
in the earlier games when you have less crit, you may be feeling like you're critting less, but really it's just that consistency coming through, so we really want to smooth out that curve as much as possible. So by giving you a higher chance, it will basically feel the same.
Got it. That's what balance is all about, you know, making things better, but not like, oh my gosh, it's so different. So Shadow Steel Shuriken next, getting some changes.
Every single
one. The attack
changed?
speed is going up a little bit, and the duration of the healing reduction debuff
10
also going up a little bit.
seconds?
So what's that
Jeez,
about,
how long is Beat Stick?
Yep, so that extra 5% attack speed is going to help
like
kind of offset
5?
the DPS change that the side is receiving from the crit changes, but also we want to make sure that its utility feels stand out. So increasing that duration from 6 seconds to 10 seconds, make sure that when you do apply the anti-heal to someone, it's going to really stick.
Yeah, makes sense. Gotta fight those healers, right? Nothing like throwing 100 abilities and then turning around and being like, wait, I thought I hurt you. So next up, it looks like Malice and Poison Star kind of both shared this update note. What's happened to those two items?
6 seconds.
Well,
Is everything going to 10?
Malicious Deathbringer and Envenom Deathbringer do exist, and so those two glyphs are actually taking the effects of both Poison Star and Malice. So we are removing these items from the game. They will no longer exist in their current state, and instead they'll exist in glyphed items. So make sure you're checking those out if you miss these.
True, definitely make sure to check those patch notes. It's gonna have all.
So they're just taking other items and considering them tier 4s?
There's so many things you have to look at. Next up, Atalanta's Bow, getting a stat rework.
Wait, what was the other one that got removed? Poison Star and what? What was it?
Yeah, so with this one, Atalanta's Bow kind of always kind of hit this interesting spot of having a
No!
really good stat distribution, but not being.
I thought they were
quite good enough
completely
to
new
compete, and when it
things,
is
but they're
too
just.
good, it's always
They
good,
better
right?
not be exactly
So
the
we're
same.
gonna make it a bit more focused, and we're giving it kind of a new role
Crit
that we're gonna
chance.
fit into. And so
Life
this one, we're actually
steal.
going to be giving it critical strike chance. So you can see here we got the 40 physical power.
Damn, and 10% pen.
Strike chance and
the
10%
hell?
life steal. Gives you a lot of the stats that you'd want as a hunter. It's
Doing
really
very
the
everything
only
fine.
place where you can get, I think, this specific stat spread. But you're obviously not going to be getting some penetration to go along with it. So Atalanta's Bow here,
That is a
getting
lot of
that
stats.
adjustment to make sure that it has its
And
new
it's cheap.
identity, and also pairs well with the new crit changes. It gives you a bit more chance to get more consistent crits now that they're a bit more evenly distributed, as well as the overall damage of crit.
Like, everything is just high crit chance now.
Yeah, that's an especially important thing to point out, is that we did remove 2 crit items, so I wanted to make sure that you still felt like you had good options
There, I guess.
to choose for whichever crit item you wanted to go. So that's why we decided to cut the
But now it's like,
penetration,
here's
put on some crit, give you another option in
crit
terms of
chance
that
with
crit
2
tree,
items.
because there are a ton of pen options already. We wanted to make sure that both sides felt equally valued.
Yeah, and I like what Bon said with, that item now representing a line of stats that is relatively unique, So if you want all of those different stats, you kind of
I
have
think
a new
you
item
really should have waited, man,
really awesome.
to make that command until after this.
Next up, Silver Branch getting kind of a shift. The cost is going up, but the physical pin is also going up. So,
Hey, I like that. I like
So
building
this is
that item
kind
a
of to
lot.
compensate for the changes happening to Atalanta's. Atalantis is losing pen, Silver Branch is gaining pen. The difference
There's been
being
quite a
that
few,
Atalantis is kind of a fit-all item. You can really build Atalantas on most characters, but Silver Branch really is not super effective.
Silver Branch
unless
is
you're one of
barely
those
ever
characters
seen.
that have the
Like,
super
other than that
high
time it was really
attack
OP
speed
and then it was
steroids,
nerfed.
or just have something in your kit that will give you a lot of attack speed. So this is kind of catering to those characters that haven't seen a whole lot of plays, like your Roms and your Chernobogs, and characters of that nature. So they'll have this little bit of extra help with that 20% penetration now, and it'll be a little bit easier to just kind of fit into your builds. Despite the cost going up, it is really worth it for that extra 10% pen.
Yeah, that's a huge bump. Awesome.
Actually, man.
Next up, Devourers Gauntlet getting a buff. Looks like the stack count is going down to 50, and there's some more power per stack, though. So what's going on there, Pump?
Yeah, so historically we've kind of seen Devo's Gauntlet kind of come in and out of the meta on its own without much adjustment.
Damn,
but
50
we've actually
stacks,
seen it come out of the meta for a while, and we think
everything's
that's
evolving.
largely due to starter items
Everything's
existing.
transcending,
Kind of
one could
changed
say.
how the early game feels,
Sorry.
as well as if you want to actually rush Devo's Gauntlet, you really have to put yourself at a risk because you're starting without one. And so making sure that actually feels rewarding enough, we're going to pretty greatly increase the speed that you get Devo's Gauntlet online at full strength, and we're actually going to bring up the top end of what that full strength is just a hair.
Yes,
Got
that's
it.
also
Yeah,
the
make
same
sure you
thing
get those
for lifesteal, because you do gain lifesteal per stack, so that is also getting increased to be just a little bit more than it was before. So again, if you do pick this up and you fully stack it, you are getting even more reward for even
Glad
less
you're
stacks.
streaming,
So
man.
it's pretty
I've been dealing with
interesting
COVID.
change
It's
here.
nice to have a
Yeah,
distraction.
pretty positive
Hope you're
for
staying
sure.
safe, man. Hope you're okay.
Another buff coming down the line. Looks like Toxic Blade also getting a buff. Again, with the stacks and max healing reduction the item can provide. So what's going on there, Lerb?
Yeah, so this is just a very slight change. We're just
60%.
allowing
Wasn't that what it was
Toxic Blade
before,
to
or
stack
was it
one
lower?
more time, which does increase that max healing reduction from this item from 40 to
I thought
60.
Toxic Blade was
so
already 3
you
set.
hit
Am
those
I an idiot?
consecutive autos with this item, they're healing for even less.
Didn't it? It
and you're
was
feeling
3,
even better
and it was
about it.
2, and it was, that was 3 again.
Sounds like a
right?
win-win-win. All you gotta do is land those autos. So something that I'll never be able to
That's
see.
what I thought it was,
60%.
yeah. I guess they're just
Hydra's
reverting it.
Lament also getting a shift. Increased
Watch
cost
it.
a little bit, but it now has been.
Let's go!
Yep. That's a pretty exciting change for anyone who wants to utilize
Fuck
the basic
yes!
action between their abilities and they want that little extra pen. I can imagine a
Give
lot of
us more
assassins are like, oh, man,
physical
this is really
penetration items, man.
Yeah, personally,
Yeah,
I
percentage
love
pen.
they
have so many magical
so
ones.
Now that this is like actually
Finally.
a viable
Fuck.
item instead of just being really good against squishies, I am so excited to try it out.
Oh yeah, landing as
Giving
Phantos
me more
when you do the
reasons.
auto cancel. It's gonna be really good.
You're damn right, Pon. You're damn right.
As if I needed to be more afraid of assassins ganking me. So cool. Looking
There's
forward
one.
to it.
That counts as one.
Golden Blade also getting a buff, physical power and attack speed. Learn me what's going on.
Jesus, Mercury's gonna be
So we've
fucking.
been missing a couple of these
busted.
auto attack assassins from the jungle. We did see a little bit more Merc. We've seen some Kali here and there, and the boy Boxer is still kind of MIA. But you know, hopefully these couple of changes coming up, we'll see a little bit of help for them. So a little bit more power, a little bit more attack speed. This item is kind of a crutch more or less to help you clear and help you kind of keep up with everyone else, because ability junglers tend to be a little bit better in the early game,
flick a towel
whereas
into my
attack
mouth.
speed junglers are really, really solid in the late game if they get there. And that's the problem, right? So making it a little bit easier to kind of path from that early game to the late game with these extra little bit of stats will hopefully increase your chances of getting to a really solid spot with plenty of those auto attack assassins.
Okay, I didn't do it first try. Now I'm just pissed.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Mercury was one of the guys that got me into this game, so I'm excited to see those fists deal a little more damage. Next up, we have Soul Eater getting a buff as well. Looks like increased physical power going up by 5. What's going on?
Yay,
there,
dude! I just keep flicking it upwards.
Yep, and this one's also paired with the Evolved getting a buff as well. The main things here are Soul Eater brings a lot of sustain for anyone who's using a lot of abilities, but you have to trade off a lot of power for that. And so bringing up a little bit of power up front to make it a bit more easier to start building into and getting those stacks going, as well as just the top end reward of an extra 5 power at the top end to match that 5% increase from before, as well as an extra 5% ability lifesteal. So
25% ability
more
lifesteal.
powerful
Yeah,
up front,
buddy.
A little bit more powerful at the top end.
Dude,
and
I
even
have
more
like a
sustain
billion
kind of
fucking
further
videos
pushes
to
that
do.
in
This
that
is
has
insane.
Largely not seen too much.
Got it.
Think of
Sounds
how many
super
video
good.
ideas.
And last but not least for items, we have Bloodforge getting a buff as well. Looks like the cost is going down and the movement speed is going up. What's happening with Bloodforge?
Movement speed.
Yeah, so this item has always been that end cap sort of, I am finishing this game here and now, and this is exactly how it's going to happen. But we're making it a little bit easier to buy into and giving it a little bit more value outside of that shield. Now you're able to zoom pretty quickly once you get that shield. Hopefully you get to chain some kills, get yourself that multi-kill, get yourself that pentakill, and you know, use that movement speed to your advantage. And I'm really hoping that we get to see some more sick plays with this one's passive.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it as well. I think it's going to be really good. Well, that wraps it up for our item balance. Again, we went over so many things.
Oh
lots
god,
of
balance
crazy
is next, isn't
changes,
it?
items getting removed to compensate for the new glyphs. All of this can be
Where have
seen
any
in the
gods got
update notes.
reworked?
I super recommend you go and check those out because the update notes are going to tell you everything we just talked about.
Imagine
for
Oler
anything
gets a
that you
complete
missed,
rework.
but also give you, you know, an update on those glyphs we talked about.
That drives
the ones we
straight
weren't
to
able
Atlanta.
mention, as well as those new tier 3 relics.
Poop
all of
on
their awesome
Pyros'
passives
desk.
and just everything we've talked about. Tons
Take
of
a dump.
information, but it's all there. So now we're moving into gods. Now it's time to talk
I do a
about god
360
balance.
and then
You can
poop on
see
their
we have
desk.
Clumsy back now. Super excited for that. And let's dive right into it. Clumsy, how about you lead us off by telling us about this big old
Talk about
Atlas
the
buff that we're
Baztet
seeing
rework.
here.
With Pawn back, I'm going to leave Atlas for him if he wants to go ahead and get started.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know
I can
what?
definitely get into it.
Do it, Paul.
All good. Yeah, so Atlas, obviously he's come out. People have been playing around with him. We've seen some success, but he's overall struggling to really kind of have that impact that we really wanted him to have, both in support as well as people who have tried to do play him in solo lane, especially. But we want to make sure that the abilities he has, regardless of where he ends up, as well as his role, feel good to use, feel impactful, and that shouldn't come at the cost of trying to exclude him from a specific role. And so our goals here are to make these adjustments. This will probably help him out more in support in general than solo laners, and I still think he probably won't be that great in solo lane, but there's some things that we had removed from him to kind of overcompensate for that, and we're bringing those back and really helping him feel impactful. So general, we're just increasing his base movement speed, HP, and HP per level to make him more tanky just as a front overall. Right now he feels a little bit squishy. He feels like he can't frontline as effectively as he can be. The biggest change, the Astrolabe passive meter has been scaled down, so it won't take up so much screen. Unburden is now going to get a little bit more base damage, which will really help him clear and poke and harass targets.
I think I
as
should
well
go
as
pee
getting a more
before, like, they
powerful
talk
slow,
about
so you're
something
more likely
interesting.
to combo that with your gravity pull. You're more likely to slow targets and that get more basic attacks off. For gravity well, or gravity pull, Atlas is now knockback immune while firing this ability, which means that there's a lot a lot stronger of a counter to a lot of characters, especially for how long this windup is, making sure that players do get pulled into it. So now Bacchus can't just belly flop you out of it. That kind of matchup stuff is really important, especially in solo or support. And so that will help him out a ton in actually being reliable and confirming this. And then finally, Connect Charge. This ability will damage minions it passes through. It was not there to make sure that he didn't have too much clear, but it just felt strange, especially in that same patch we had Medusa get that feature. So making sure that that feels more impactful and more just intuitive to what you'd expect that ability to do. And then also, this now will have a base slow no matter what. We had that so that you had to have a partner next to you to actually get that effect, and that was just too limiting, too restrictive. So now you can charge it at targets, apply that slow, and we've lowered the actual max stacks of how many allies can help you, so you can stack to the same 75% slow, so it's a bit easier to get to as well. So if you only have 2 people next to you, you can apply that max slow. So lots of all-around abilities to help Atlas out. He's got that extra tankiness, he's got the extra clear, he's got the extra utility on Connect Charge, and he has that better matchup tool with Gravity.
Sounds super awesome. Honestly, like, I've loved Atlas since he dropped. Yeah, I know that there was some, when he dropped, there were some things that he didn't work with, but every time I saw myself in a Guardian position, it was hard for me not to choose Atlas. I have loved his kit, and I'm excited.
His kit is fun, 100%.
Next up looks like Camazotz is getting a nerf. Looks like Devourer and Bat Out of Hell are getting touched. So what's going on with that, Clumsy?
Yeah, a lot of the nerfs we have coming up are, still being catered off of the SWC and the qualifiers that we had previously played. We think with 9.1 coming up, this patch is going to be pretty crazy.
I keep leaning into
things,
raid
these
shit.
gods
Like,
specifically might have been ones that needed extra love, or well, in this case, maybe a little bit less extra love. So Camazotz, his sustain was obviously a little bit too high. We did the changes with his ulti previously, which increased the quality of life on that one. It was definitely, felt as a
Camazotz good right now? Like, are people playing him in the SPL?
Increased the cooldown on that one, decreased the
I have not been watching. I usually only watch
a little bit less
World
painful when he
Champions.
does get it off successfully.
Championships.
Awesome. Oh, not awesome because I love Camazotz, but awesome for people who don't like Camazotz. So, cool beans. Next up, Seoul getting a nerf as well. Looks like Radiance and Disapparate. I can never say that one right. Fawn, I'll leave that to you.
Disapparate?
Yep. So we have Seoul just being pretty powerful, just a potent mage ADC, kind of hybrid mage. And the things that she brings are
get fucked,
she has that
Soul
kind of
mains.
ability to bring a lot of damage with Radiance's passive heat generation. So we're just going to be taking advantage of that, so it's not so free you have to manage that more directly. As well as with Disapparate, that move is very, very safe if you can get it off. It can immune a whole bunch of damage and give you that movement speed burst to really kind of get away from a fight. We're going to be increasing the cooldown so that happens a bit less often, as well as we're decreasing the movement speed so you're not able to move as freely with that ability.
Sounds good to me. Securing kills on Soul has always been hard, so maybe I'll be able to do it now. Bastet coming up next, also getting a nerf to Razor Whip and Huntress of Bast.
Fucking thank God.
So we obviously had the Bastet ultimate ability and passive rework, and she released very, very strong. But notes to that as well.
Her ult was a default 90-second. Are you shitting me?
With a lot of damage, and that's kind of the thing. With the ulti rework, we didn't want to just nerf other parts of her kit immediately, but now is about that time. So
she's so annoying to play against. Bastet's I've never enjoyed playing or playing against Bastet ever since season 1.
Once for the ultimate, but we're definitely seeing people get affected by it quite a lot.
There's the cat.
Increasing it once again, but scaling down to that same 90
Bologna
seconds.
statue's fucking sick.
Awesome. It sounds like we're talking about nerfing the cat. I feel like I hear a cat complaining now, so we should probably move on before we cause
That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's ironic.
So next up, Odin also getting a
hated
nerf.
him.
Looks like Lunge is getting a bit of a revert, as well as Raven Shout. So what's going on with that, Plum?
Yeah, Odin just he's been a very popular pick. He brings a lot of utility to his team and just can kind of consistently
Double J's gonna
safety,
join me on the PTS for videos today,
as well as that ultimate that can really punish certain team compositions. He's been kind of on a fine bouncing point of us having to softly revert a few things that we've done over the last year and a half or so, right? It's about when we reworked him. Time flies. It's actually really hard to timeline put it. But yeah, this is just one of those things that we had given him to really help him out. That thinks he's a bit too potent what he's doing, so we're going to take away that by reverting the cooldown change we had. So that's going to take him a second longer to lunge.
I feel like Odin has been seen in range.
Matters over the long course of a whole game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those 1 seconds definitely do build up. So next up, Nike getting a nerf as well. Sentinel of Zeus getting touched. What's going on there, Clumsy?
as we spoke about a little bit earlier with the item changes, gods as well, shields is something that are quite prevalent, and we're going to be touching that with these next two characters. Nike shield, we're decreasing it across the board, just making her a little bit less potent. We're seeing her pick up
I'm going to
quite a
guess
lot.
they're going to...
It almost felt like out of nowhere, but with the SWC, she's one of those characters that are extremely highly valued. So hitting that ultimate across all ranks.
Nerf Tiamat again. I hate that god.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Yo.
Gab also getting a nerf. Stone Shield kind of getting knocked off a little bit.
So every shield thing is getting messed up? I like that.
Yep.
Fuck shields,
Very similar story here. We were looking at shields as a whole, and we're just going to be decreasing the overall scaling of that as well as the duration to make sure that you have to be a bit more tactical when you use it. You have to make sure that you're using it when your target.
Damn, it only lasts
taking damage.
2 seconds base now? Oof. That is a huge nerf.
Makes sense. Definitely, that's one of those.
Not until level
super great
3
utility
do you have
item
the
that makes
base
sense to kind of make
duration.
sure that
That's
you're
a
using
big
it
nerf.
appropriately
Jeez.
instead of a blanket for all problems.
I fucking hate playing this.
So Arachne up next, getting a buff. Looks like Web is getting a decreased cooldown. So what's
Yay.
what's going on there, Clumsy?
It's so exciting.
Yeah, so now that we're out of like the god nerf section, we're into the fun buffs, right? What's more fun than an Arachne buff? So yeah, a lot of these next characters are going to be things that you may not see these gods as much, or if they are there, then maybe they're sleeper, and we'll get into that a little bit further. But Arachne is one of those gods who when you do see her played, maybe she's played in the hands of someone who's really, really good with her, but across the board, Arachne is really not that easy to play. So Web, 16 seconds is actually quite long, so we're going to be bringing that down to 14.
Fair enough. I mean, Spider likes making webs. It only makes sense. Amaterasu coming up next on the buff train. Heavenly Reflection getting a revert in a positive direction.
Dandy
So what's going on there,
says sounds like
Yeah,
filler.
so
from
just
Naruto.
Amaterasu as a whole brings a lot of interesting utility to your team, but hasn't really seen much
Naruto
success or
flashback.
play. And one thing that we had
Oh,
done
no,
was we lowered the damage that Heavenly Reflection did at a base as well as fully charged, and we're just going to bring that back. We're going to make sure that this feels impactful when you just quick fire it, as well as if you do get the full charge off, it's going to
I
really
scored a
make
drop from myself? Yay!
Awesome. No, AJ's going to love that one.
Yay, I got a drop from myself, I guess.
Jormungandr up next. Kind of a buff as well. Got a couple things to his general playstyle, immovable and venomous.
Yay!
So let's get into it, Clumsy.
I'm getting it for myself.
Yeah, Jormungandr was very, very strong during his
Wait,
release
how do I
time,
go
and
back
ever
to
since then, he's been hit with a lot of nerfs.
What have I
and
done?
There was a time where he was just, like I said, he's played quite a bit. And after all those nerfs, we've been struggling to find a really good spot with
I
him
can't read
to
my
bring him
chat.
back. Obviously we had the times where Guardians were in the solo lane a lot. Jormungandr, other than the arrow strat, wasn't quite seen. So we're gonna be hitting him in a couple of different places to make sure that we can bring him back. But we don't want him to be in his release state. I think that is the main fear with this large snack.
Yep.
So we're gonna be hitting his movement speed.
Generally,
give him a little bit more of that.
General
also
link
doing that kind of on his passive as well. So
Oh,
if
that's
you're
not
doing
one.
hit
General
from
increase the
crowd
base
controls,
movement speed.
you're gonna be the self slow and the damage decrease is going to be, or increase is actually going to be lowered by a little bit more. And Venomous Haze is one of those abilities that
Damn, that's a lot of buffs.
people kind of take for granted a little bit. Obviously, before you could use it to take the totem a little bit. Now you're not even seeing that being the case. We're going to increase the potency on the damage and the slow for that one.
Awesome. Always happy to see Sneck come back in glorious fashion. So Tier buff coming up next. Tier's on the block with Lawbringer being a little getting a little more positive love. How about that, Pom?
Oh
yeah,
my...
Lawbringer just as an ultimate does provide a lot of utility.
Oh my god, I thought that was just two. I don't know why.
With, to actually fight someone. But in regards
big
to
old
the
tier
damage
buff.
it brings,
God damn.
it's actually just very low. And so when you engage with it, if you didn't actually pick someone, he didn't really contribute too much to the team. And so making sure that feels impactful, kind of actual rewarding enough for a warrior ultimate. So that extra damage is going to help out a lot. And then if he does follow up, he's going to be even more successful in picking a target.
It's a lot of damage.
Awesome. Nothing wrong with seeing Tier
land on a squishy and then one combo, they're dead. Not
Baba
even a combo,
Yaga
probably
up
just
next,
a one
getting
thing.
a buff as well. Baba's Brew and Home Sweet Home both getting touched on. So what's going on with Baba Yaga?
Baba Yaga, even with the stacking items
Try
being a little bit stronger.
Try removing
patches ago, especially with the Book of the Dead build coming up. You
What?
think we see a little bit more of Baba Yaga with Book of Thoth and everything being picked up, but Baba's Brew is still one of those abilities that doesn't quite
Try?
hit the wave as easily
What does it mean,
or
try?
not as strongly as you think it would, or as easily. And it's because of that we think it's going to be restricting her playstyle in the mid a little bit. So we're going to be increasing that damage just a little bit, just 10 damage across all the ranks to make sure that we don't get her too strong, but also Home Sweet Home, the ultimate. Now this is going to be interesting. We're going to be removing the self root on fire, giving a little bit more flexibility. So
Why does it say try? What?
Goes into that too.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. That'll
Try
definitely be,
removing
that'll help out. With
was that just
ult off in those tighter situations?
Was that just a fucking idea that I was like, what if we tried removing self root?
Got a buff for Chernobog.
And they're like, wait a minute, and they copy
like
pasted it by
Seasons
accident.
and Bramble Blast getting a little bit of an up jump. What's going on with that, Pon?
Like, what have we tried that?
Yeah, so the main goal is just to make sure that Shifter Season does feel impactful enough when you're choosing to focus on it. You have a lot of things you can min-max optimize about the Shifter Seasons and applying debuffs and applying slows.
Cripple.
Just making sure that when you do play with this, it does feel
that's big.
Rewarding enough.
That's big, man.
I think the biggest one here is Bramble Blast. The
That's
direct hit now applying Root and Cripple instead of just Root really means that when you do
that's like a 2-second cripple.
You're going to be really getting that extra like lockdown utility. Lets you follow up with your basic attacks really clearly. Just that extra thing that he can do to control the lane and really find a moment to really engage.
Awesome. So we're moving on to Chernobog now. Chernobog getting
so you a 2 ult combo, you fucking destroy someone.
Yeah, so Chernobog is one of those gods where you know he's doing well when we have Barracuda on him, but now Barracuda's not even playing him, so he might need a little bit of a buff.
He needs to be buffed immediately.
The passive and the crystallized curses. The passive can be getting a little bit of a damage increase, but the big one's going to be the crystallized curses. Kind of one of the abilities that people try and use as effectively as they can, but really it's that projectile speed and the range that hold them back. And so by increasing the range a little bit and decreasing the projectile, or increase the projectile speed and making that a little bit faster to come out, you'd be able to be a little bit more flexible with that ability.
Awesome. Nothing wrong with a little bit of changes to scary flying guy. Speaking of flying, Horus also getting some buffs. Looks like Updraft and Fracture getting touched as well. So let's talk about it.
Excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Horus is that kind of like warrior support solo laner, but he can't quite do enough utility to really bring out his support role. He can't really quite do enough damage to bring out a solo or more like kill lane potential. And so we're really just looking to adjust that. So Updraft will now have additional scaling, which will just help him if he wants to build more bruisery, more tanky like frontline damage. As well as the extra gust damage is going to help him clear the wave. And the cooldown reduction is going to be a big deal in regards to being able to consistently like lock down opponents, get that extra wave clear off. And then finally, Fracture, increasing the cleave damage from 190 to 220 at the top rank, is going to really help him lock down a target and bring the extra damage that might result in a kill, especially early lane. Getting that extra damage off is going to be very impactful there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Gonna help.
Keep
with
trying
those
to like look away from chat and go back.
Just start shifting the game right away. That's awesome.
Someone's gonna spoil something back.
Chronos coming up next, getting a buff to time. No!
So we talked about mage ADCs a little bit. We had Seoul obviously getting nerfed. We had Telkine's ring getting hit a little bit. Chronos is one of those gods that even with those changes, he's still not really been in the limelight too much.
Minutes.
He's one of the ones that's also really scary. And we were looking at his kid and we're like, you know what? The passive is kind of the only thing that we think that can really buff without feeling too bad about it, and that's really just because getting the max
125 at 37.5 minutes
when you might not only be playing Chronos.
1.5 minute per stack. Oh my god, Chronos! Chronos mains are just gonna fucking camp and duel until late game.
Of course, I think 37.5 minutes. So you may still not get there in some of your other shorter games, but it'll feel a lot more fair.
Awesome, yeah, especially on those really long games where you get to the point where it's like, all right, like anything can decide to win. I'm glad that
Chronos
I'm able to get
mains
stack power.
sitting under the fucking tower.
Nox coming up next, also getting a buff. Looks like Shadowlock is getting a little love. What's going on with that, Vaughn?
Yeah, so we're just increasing the minion damage here to make sure that Nox has that extra utility to clear the wave. We've done this a few times in both giving this damage and
only put it 15 minutes already. Well, now it's 37.5.
That you can help clear the wave with. One of her pain points specifically in Conquest is her ability to clear the wave consistently against other mages. And so making this more potent is going to help out a ton. And then we've also fixed the description just to make sure it's very clear that this damage is applied to minions only.
Yeah, always good to make sure people read it and they're like, why is my damage? It's in the notes. It's right there. Yep. It's to minions. So, cool. And looks like the final buff getting going on here is Set getting a buff to a couple different things. Funeral Rites, Wing Gust.
Oh my god, I thought they said Set. My heart just skipped a fucking beat.
Yeah, it's definitely a quality of life change.
Oh my god, that scared me, dude.
Mana cost and increase in the aura radius are things that we think could help her out. But we also, like I said, with some of these other characters, want to be very careful with how strong we bring them. You said was really strong after her rework. And
is Funeral Rites, is that her ult?
That back forwards and Spirit Ball, even with the damage change, we're going to be going there. It's 20 damage at rank 5. It's not going to be too much. We're going to start with these and see where we're going.
Wow.
Awesome. Well, super cool. Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. Well, that covers it for our balance. That was gods, items, we had relics, we had glyphs, so many things, and some things are still shifting and changing. Some things are still in the works. So make sure you check out those update notes that are live right now to see what's locked in, and any changes are reflected there as well, because this is a ton of stuff. We're still learning how it's impacting the game, how it's going to edit some things. So just make sure you keep your eyes on those update notes for all of the best information, and to really learn about all of these for if you missed what we talked about today, or for the things that we just weren't able to get to today. So we have one more thing to talk about. We now have Lermy and Ajax back. Welcome back. Glad to have y'all.
Many more things to talk about still.
Well, one more thing in this section, but like a million great things to talk about. Yeah, don't let me get y'all steered
I
off.
should have started a coffee for this.
We have an exciting little visual rework we get to share. Not even little, exciting big visual rework to share. Apollo is getting some love.
Oh,
look at the boy.
Deeprex, that wasn't here yet, bro. I'm this close.
He's beautiful.
That's
Kick your ass.
He looks
so beautiful.
real good.
He doesn't look like me anymore. Let's go.
I absolutely love it.
He doesn't look like me.
Awesome.
There we go. Yeah, so the visual rework for Apollo.
Oh, I like the harp. Okay, all right.
We've been really positive about him. We want to keep doing him. Apollo is the next god on the list.
Yes, he does just not want to fuck off. No, it does not.
Improve his visuals to feel like it fits with more modern
that doesn't
Smite
look like
and
me
meets
at
your
all.
expectations for what you expect from this gloriously
I have a beard
beautiful
now.
god of music. So you've got a completely new default model, recolor, and masteries. The classic
back to the
model
blonde.
will
He
still
does-
be
no!
available for players to purchase.
Shut up, all
and
of you.
The voice pack is going to
The
be
art does not look
remaining
like me. The
unchanged.
art looks like XQ fucking C.
Character's not having any other kit changes, no changes to his abilities or anything like that, but there are some other animation kind of tweaks and particle effects and audio tweaks to kind of just bring Apollo into the modern days.
Oh, I like the 360.
And yeah, we're going to see some
Maybe
of that
he is
now
me.
in game, and it's just, what a beautiful character model. Like, absolutely love it.
With the beard,
And as
maybe I'll
Lermy can back
shave.
us up, he's hot.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, can confirm. 10 out of 10. I'm here for it.
That was
Yeah,
a
you
major
heard
goal
it here
with the rework
first.
for Apollo.
Yeah. Make sure
He
that
got a totally new
when the news
chariot and
came
horse as well, I believe.
I wasn't expecting an Apollo rework. I really expected like
New
a.
treatments with his wrist weapons, and you're also getting an additional preview of the season
Something
9
was already reworked. Yeah,
Conquest
never
Map
mind.
here.
Cupid.
Yeah.
Cupid.
Yeah.
I was expecting Cupid
Shiva,
before
the
Apollo.
Shiva temple.
I feel like Cupid needed the rework first.
There's a
Who
bunch of
else?
new
Beautiful, I love
architecture
this.
scattered around the map as well. It looks so nice.
I like
and
the
I mean,
one, yeah.
getting to see it as this amazing new Apollo model, I mean, I am just more than thrilled.
I'm kind of iffy
Too
about
many
the
good
We're
guns.
not
to
going to
look
be
at
doing
on
any
one screen.
spoilers on. We're not going to do any spoilers on who's next to be remodeled, but we are going to keep this as a priority.
Thanatos does
throughout
not
the year,
need a remodel.
hopefully
Go
beginning
fuck
to
yourself.
At least one other god. There's the
Card's cool.
recolor.
Yeah, looking great. I love
Don't
the
fucking
hair.
say it looks like me. Don't fucking
Just
say
the
it.
way that his like gaze is that bright, like vivid white
not
yellow,
evil,
like
Rexsi.
that is
Shut up.
amazing. I love the way that he's
I love the
looking
dazed
at minion
minions.
and
They're just like,
serenading him.
whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's what happens when you see a
His
god.
wings look like ass. You really
True.
think those are wings?
That's what happens when I'm going to see that in game. I'll be in arena and I'll be like, all right, can we just stop for a sec? I want to admire.
Dude, he looks like fucking Joffrey.
Ooh, the mastery
Oh, a
as well.
horse cameo? That looks nice.
True.
That
I
gives you a
just-
really good look at the new weapon and how it
Yeah.
like, really has changed a lot.
Same idea, whole new execution. It's really cool.
Yeah, and it's
All of you can shut
something
up.
I absolutely love about that. So y'all can look out for a brand new hot Apollo coming with 9.1. Super
up,
excited
all of
about
you.
it.
It
But
literally
now,
looks nothing like me.
let's
Look,
move on to
I'm
some
different now. I have a
community news.
beard.
We have all kinds of things to talk about. As I mentioned previously, there's a ton of content. So let's get into it. First of all, I just want
I've
to thank
gained weight. My
everybody for the
jawline
great
isn't
HRS
as
we've had today. It's been
not
such
as
an
skinny.
awesome day, but it's just the beginning. It really is. There's so many things for us
To
to get
lose
into.
a couple pounds.
And I couldn't be more excited for this to continue. Starting tomorrow with Throwback
Maybe when I was
Thursday.
younger, yeah.
Make sure y'all are prepared for that. We have so many cool things prepared for y'all. It was a day that we really wanted to bring to life because there's just such a
I'm
rich
gonna
history
close
with
my
Smite,
chat.
and we want to be able to share that. So tomorrow's Throwback Thursday is going to be great. And then here's kind of our calendar
Y'all
layout.
better
We have,
be, chat. Y'all better be at
all
the
kinds of
Creator
things
Cup.
happening between now
Friday.
and Sunday. With
Friday.
Sunday, obviously,
That's
having
I
the
play
grand
on Friday,
finales for
okay?
finals. But we have
So you
just a
need to be
million
there
and a
for
half things
Friday.
happening. So lock in, clear your calendar, and get excited because HRS and SWC, I mean, it's just so many things to look forward to. As I mentioned with SPL as well, SWC is happening right now. That's going on. The games are starting Friday, and we're going to be hitting the peak on Sunday with the finals, the grand finals. So be ready for
Golden
that.
Boots Award! I hope I won, man. They did the nominations earlier today, too, which is sick.
Season 8. And we also have some merch that we're excited to share. SWC has championship jerseys, joggers. We have mouse pads, water bottles. Pick them up. Make sure you grab them. Support your team, and let people know who your favorites are. Make sure to tweet if you get any of these. Make sure to tweet and ping your favorite team, and let everybody know.
And
who
if we
you're
win, we'll
rooting
play
for,
Sunday too.
This is the hypest time of year.
You already know
we're
we're gonna win.
excited
So
to get into it.
Same.
So that'll do it for our news for right now. Again, super
I want
excited for
every
everything.
golden bolt.
So as y'all
I
saw
hope.
earlier, we're joined now by High Res Honey. So how are you?
I love High Res Honey.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, so excited. I've been sleepless for like 2 weeks now. It's just so many things I've been looking.
I think I might
to.
watch Worlds this
week
year,
is
like
going
all
I'm
of
gonna
it,
sleep probably in
and
this chair. So just to let y'all know, if I look like
root for a
more
team
disheveled
for
as the
once.
week goes, it's because I have not been able to pull myself.
Usually, I'm very
But let's get into some skins.
unbiased.
We have
Skins!
all kinds of cool skins to talk about today. And the first one is going to
Here
be
it comes.
the Season 9
Terrifying.
Rank Award, Grave Golem.
Everyone,
Yeah.
get ready for how many times he's gonna say terrifying.
So that's
I love him.
yeah, spooky boy.
I'm not gonna count
He's
that.
got like a skeletons like all throughout his arms.
I'll say he's up 2.
Pop right up out the
Literally
ground.
in him.
Yeah, I love how like the angel's head, like in his base, is
This
like
skin looks
floated
fucking
off
sick,
and
though.
just become Geb's head now. That's
I really
so
like this
creepy.
skin.
That is. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, this is going to be the Season 9 reward.
10
so,
months no shadow. It's
something
good to be
strive
here,
for.
Rexsi. Hi, Rexsi.
Let's hear the voice line.
By a master we never knew, our body ancient sepulchres, our spirit wandering eternally. Let's lay the enemy to rest.
God damn.
That is both spooky and kind of convenient because he wants to lay them to rest. He is the graveyard, so he can just be like, "Come on home, it's fine."
Very fitting.
Very fitting. Totally agree. Next up, we have the Colossus Chest, bringing Atlas his first skin, Corroded Colossus Atlas,
Whoa.
and woo lad.
That card art is so sick. I love the angle that we're looking at him at. Just like he's slamming down the astrolabe straight in our face, just like, here I am, here is the sky that I've held up, and now now you've got to carry it instead.
Yeah, your turn.
Bought a vocabulary.
Truly pondering the orb, yeah, for sure. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, I love the purples. The purple
Yeah.
hue looks so awesome with this guy.
I totally
Colors
agree.
aren't as vibrant. I don't know.
And like, I've been so in love with
Colors
Atlas,
are kinda
and seeing this
bland.
like fully armored, covered in metal aesthetic really works. That like giant iron.
The
knight
orb
man
is usually
just,
underwhelming.
I don't know. I
though.
think it's an aesthetic that fits him perfectly. Let's hear what the voice sounds like.
My body has been forged to withstand entire armies. Come, puny gods, let us see if you can mar my form.
It's pretty cool. I wish it had more purple on it though.
So cool.
So epic. Literally chills right now. I am so excited to non-stop auto-luck Atlas. So next up, we have the Season Pass 2022 coming out with Space Scoundrel Danzaboro. And
no.
That's so great. Look at him.
When's the last time we had an
He's
Uller
so
skin?
cute. Oh my gosh, I love it. Does this gun have like little angry teeth things? They're like piranhas or something.
That is
Yes.
the coolest thing I have seen all day. Oh my goodness.
I absolutely love him. Oh, look at him.
Oh.
Yeah!
He's got like that
He's so-
bulldog face with the
Yeah,
I
like the big old
just
jaw.
Can't. He's so cute.
I love he has a little fish tank gun too. That's so
Dude,
great.
why is his
And his
his
little
booty
jetpack.
just getting it?
Oh, I'm so excited. So, Space Scoundrel Danzaboro is actually, again, part of our Season Pass 2022, but this isn't the only thing you'll be getting. Obviously, if you get the Season Pass, you're going to get the Space Scoundrel loading
looks like a
screen,
fucking-
the most one-player title, and
What are those
exclusive
little
recolors
creatures
for every newly
with the
released God in
ears?
2022.
That
including
like
the God itself.
when
if you
when
don't
it
own
turns
the God packs.
nighttime,
You'll not
they
only
turn
get every
they
new
get
God,
whatever
in
the fuck they're
coming
called.
Season 9, but you'll also get their exclusive recolors and
A
all of the
gremlin?
Space
Is that
Scoundrel
what they're
stuff.
called? Gremlins? It looks like a
let's hear the
fucking
voice
gremlin.
Scavenging the outer solar system is just my side gig. Bounty hunting is what I was born
Shut
to
up.
do.
That voice fits him so well. Absolutely love it. So that is super awesome. And again, part of the Season Pass 2022. Make sure that y'all are looking out for that. That'll be coming
What are
with
this
Season
3 gonna
9
be like?
with Update 9.1. So super excited. Next up, we have our new Battle Pass. But let's not forget the Battle Pass we're on right now.
Don't show the Transformers cinematic again. I've seen too much of Optimus Prime and Zeus just hanging out. Hearing Hyras call their own shit awesome and not having anything else to... It's just... It's literally... It's just like the hype man, I guess. It's like when they transition between things, he just kind of says something about why it's cool. I don't know why they're showing it again. Advertise it, I guess? I hope they had a Bumblebee skin at some point.
Can't forget that Battle Pass or that video or Transformers. So make sure that y'all are finishing that Battle Pass up because there's skins that you do not want to miss there. And, you know, it's gone with Season 9.1. But it will be replaced by something super awesome, the new Hellfire Syndicate Battle Pass. So, super great aesthetic, you're gonna love it, and let's get right into it with Crimson Kraken Poseidon.
Crimson Kraken.
My goodness. I love this aesthetic so much.
Yeah, it's kind of that,
I have a feeling this is not gonna look good in game, boys.
Gangster type thing.
Super awesome.
Absolutely love
You
it.
can see the Kraken poking through the window back there. Oh my goodness.
I didn't even notice that.
That actually looks pretty good.
Look
Also,
at his shoulders on fire.
Gooby.
That's awesome.
Gooby, he's not the one that makes the changes and stuff like that. He doesn't like. He's not the one that bounces. He's just like a cast
really,
guy.
Yeah.
Real nice.
So it's not like he's calling
Yeah,
it like
and
his
the
own
horns,
change
yeah, you're
amazing.
Totally right. That's super awesome.
He's just like reviewing it essentially.
About this and the Kraken though. Let's hear the voice line on this one.
I want to see the Kraken, man.
Come on now. I'm not gonna let you have all the fun without me.
Ooh. Chill.
At least it's a little bland, but at least the color scheme is
You can't see
consistent.
Poseidon without seeing the Kraken. Let's go in game and see the Kraken real quick.
Yes, show me the crack. Show it from the front.
Oh, so cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pretty cool. It looks like a
Got all
sea
the fire
dragon.
and everything.
It looks like a sea dragon, boys.
Yeah, kind of the opposite of normal Kraken, right? Normally it's so watery, but now we got a big fiery boy.
Yeah.
Sea dragon.
Oh my goodness.
Look at him.
So much fire. So much
And
fire.
like the hair.
It's a cool looking Kraken.
Wow,
The
that
skull head. Oh, that's absolutely
sick.
awesome.
That is cool looking.
Yeah, this is my new favorite Poseidon skin. Sorry, Poseidon, gotta sit down a sec here.
I feel like every time a Poseidon skin drops, that's what happens, right? You see this Kraken, and it pops out of the ground, and you're like, man, it's hard to have this many favorite Poseidon skins. Super awesome. So next up, we have Miss Misery Nike in the game.
Oh wow,
Nike?
look at her. Yeah.
Looks like
Look
Afro.
at her. Stunner. I love the, like, flamey skull, too. On
Stunner.
her,
Yo, that's gonna be my pickup line like someone on
upper, what's
Tinder.
that thigh. I can't think of muscles.
Stunner. Yeah.
Her stockings?
You're a stunner.
Yeah, like with the flame, like the purple flaming skull. That's awesome.
That
Oh,
looks
yeah, look at
so much worse in game. Look at her face.
I just love how these two skins are the same theme, but they've taken such a different color direction. Like this one's
face
really,
looks
like,
so different. Look at
reaching
her
into the
horns.
purples, whereas the last one was really
Her
red.
face! It's like
just so
the-
cool that they're the same.
It's like
theme,
that
but they
Al
can be
Kwong
so
skin,
different.
the face, like with the duck face.
Yeah, but I do love. I
What
love
is
the red
this
jacket,
in-game
'cause, like, even
model?
though that is like the little bit of red, I feel like it contrasts with the purple focus so much.
Oh yeah.
So beautiful.
Bro,
to
speaking
look
of
at.
Tinder, I just got fucking
let's hear the voice
catfish.
line.
Running this business makes me realize that nothing can come between me and my family.
It's all about the family. So it's that mobster vibe, you know. The mob is the family. That is super awesome. I love the wings too.
I do too.
Super awesome. So next up, we have Devil Punk Daji along in this battle pass.
Devil Punk. I feel like there's a skin very similar to that, isn't there?
Wow.
Right? I love it. I love the
scary,
claws.
but like in the best way.
Is. So scary. I like the teeth on the face mask too. That is horribly just horribly scary, like you said.
Sick, I would say. It just looks so
Yeah,
cool.
sick. And the skull with the vines on the pants there.
Oh wow! I mean, look at the color on that tail, the way it gradients down. That is awesome. And there's like even a little movement in there.
Yeah, it's.
Are you sure this is a recolor?
You know, it's the Hellfire Battle Pass. We brought the fire. That is super awesome. Absolutely love this skin. Absolutely,
I think it is a
terrified for her
recolor,
to,
yeah.
Appear out of
To
thin
a
air and
degree.
destroy me. So that'll be cool. And last but not least, we have
That's not
the
bad. I like it
Angel
more
of
than
Death
the
Thanatos
original.
skin. So let's
Dude,
check
when
that
they say
one out.
Thanatos,
Oh,
I was so hopeful that they were gonna include the concept I had.
I love get the kissing the ring.
I like it more than the
Obviously,
original.
the boss.
Yeah, this guy is the big bad of the gang. I mean, he has to be, right?
Thanatos
With a look like that.
Chad!
Yeah.
Thanatos
You don't have
Chad.
that great.
Please
of a
look good
beard
in game. Please look good in game.
I guess that's the determinant.
That looks pretty good. I like the
Right,
wings. It doesn't look as bad as I was
really
expecting.
love the
Oh,
detail
yeah.
in his wings.
I couldn't agree more. They're so dragon kind
Everything's
of
on
like they.
fire.
Yeah.
Sigma Thana.
I mean, you
That's,
can tell he's the boss. Look at the way he's looking down. Like he looks up to nobody. He looks down at people. That's boss vibes. Let's hear the voice.
He's got the Soul Calibur sight.
Nothing like a little jaunt around town to get the blood flowing.
What did he rip ass?
Get the blood flowing.
Does not look
indeed.
like me.
You know, as with any skin,
That is way
this
too Chad to
boss,
look like me.
You can't just look at it in the roundabout here. We gotta see it in game. So I have been told that the one is having some issues now. It will be fixed come patch, but just for now, it's been a little.
Why does that always
a little
happen,
silly.
Simone?
But
Still looks insanely cool.
it still looks so cool.
What is happening
The
with his
fire
head?
is just unbelievable.
Fire's coming out of his head? I like that it comes
Yeah,
out of
look
the
at that
sight. That's
trail
neat.
coming off the scythe. That's how you know he's hunting you.
Yeah, I love that it goes from like that kind of yellowish orange fire to the really dark red as it trails off.
It's totally
so
Lucifer?
cool
It kind of is, isn't it? Why don't they just call it Lucifer Thana?
Oh,
that ult is
oh my
sick!
goodness, the spin!
Okay, that ult
awesome,
was
yeah.
sick! What?
Wow. Oh, and he points
I
at you.
love that!
Oh my
Wow!
Yeah.
He's like,
That's
Literally,
that's
the
fucking
outcome
rad!
is
What the
you're
hell?
done.
That ult is like the best part of it!
That's
What the
finished. You're
fuck? A
so
custom
right.
animation for the
Awesome
ult?
to look at. Absolutely great. I
Wow,
super love
that's
it.
awesome now. I like that. That's like the best part of the skin. 100%. A custom ult animation, that's awesome.
Awesome. So next up, we have a new event coming with 9.1 that we are calling the Dharmic Era event. So the Dharmic Era event is actually
I need to pee.
it's similar to Yulefest in a way, but it's to highlight
Just completely misses yet.
Hey,
bud.
Oh my gosh, the name just
Hello.
the Hindu. It's to highlight the Hindu pantheon, how much we love them, and how much they are affecting the season 9, especially the beginning of season 9. So with this, it's going to start with every 2 weeks there'll be a new bundle release that has 4 exclusive items to this event, and on release the bundle is going to cost 900 gems. When the next bundle comes out, it'll be 1,200 gems. So, you know, we love starting things on a cheaper price because we want everybody to have this stuff. If you get 2 of the bundles, you're going to get an exclusive Rama skin, which we'll be seeing in a minute, of course. And if you get 4, you'll get an unlimited Loki skin that we'll also be seeing in a minute. And be excited because the Loki skin is amazing. This will also have a questing component to it as well. The questing component will be free to everybody, and it involves something really cool that involves discovering the Hindu codex, completing the codex of Hindu gods. And you can do this by seeing them in-game. So part of the missions for this are going to be trying to see all of the Hindu gods in-game, and this includes playing as them, against them, or with them on your team. So there will be stuff like that you'll be able to complete, and it should be super fun for everybody. We're super excited to be able to share that with y'all. But yeah, it's so look out for that event coming out, and look out for some of the skins like Honorable Hero Rama.
Ooh. Yes. That looks so
the
classy
gold.
with all the gold.
Yeah.
Honorable indeed.
Interesting.
So honorable.
Oh, and he's just taking down the Naga too. Like, wow, already in the midst of things.
Yeah, true. We caught him mid-action. That's super awesome. So absolutely love that. Just the look of confidence too. Unbelievable.
Oh wow, look at that bow. I love the details on it.
So ornate.
What the fuck? His color
I also
scheme
love
and his
I don't know,
hair and his.
I just love the shoes. Like,
What the fuck is with the baits today?
The shoes. I don't know where you.
I mean, it looks fine in game. Honestly, it's not even that bad. He's just so different.
You know what? They do be styled.
He's
True.
he's so
100%.
different.
Yeah, let's hear the voice line.
Ravan and his army shall pay.
Wait, they're using the same voice actor as the last skin that came out?
Shall. And pay in style.
They used the guy from Vegeta Bridge,
Next
the
up,
same
we
guy.
have- this one's also exciting. Prototype 2.0 Charybdis.
The same
Charybdis'
voice pack.
First skin.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
How you feeling, bud? Tell me you okay?
That's super awesome.
This is
Oh, I can't wait to see the mall with the skin. You can kind of see it in the background there, but
I wonder how much of a bait this is gonna be.
That's gonna look so sick.
I hope it looks cool in game because this
has
card
to,
art
and
looks
I
awesome.
love the
It has to, yeah, motherfucker. Have you seen some of these?
that, like the super cyber and
Look like
modern.
Lord Farquaad.
I guess futuristic, modern is a lie. And the eye color.
Yeah, right. She has two different colored eyes normally.
That actually
so you
looks
get
pretty
to see
good in
it just
game.
like super extreme in this case.
Yeah,
and
like
there's the
neon colors really help. Oh, you're
There's
right.
the boy.
So cool.
It's pretty good.
I love that the pattern on the cloak is also like on the maw as well.
I love.
It's super
love
great
him.
looking.
Look at all his little eyes.
Not nearly as
Yeah,
bad
his
as
little
like
cyber
some of
eyes, his cute little giant mechanical death jaw. Awesome.
Oh, it's the
let's,
OG Rumble,
let's hear the
wasn't it?
voice line.
M4W, are you ready?
I thought it was the.
Good.
You
So
know.
am I.
I need to
That
watch
is
your face.
literally that is the season 9 vibe. That is exactly. I've been saying that all week. Like, this is a week of W's, and Charybdis is obviously here for it. So I am super
Rexi
happy to
Charybdis
see
skin.
that.
Snowball is the mall.
Next up, we got a kind of a spooky boy. We got Bone Wraith Kukulkan.
Dude, he said bone. Oh my
Oh,
god! Whoa!
wow, this
Look
is
at the
so different
art
from
on
any
that.
other Kukulkan skin I have
Oh
seen.
my god!
Wow.
I heard bone and I got excited. I
Yeah,
thought they were doing
that's
my Thanatos skin.
Crazy, and also the giant skull face. What?
Yeah, this is
I'm
not your
really
normal,
loving the angle.
normal friendly dragon.
Yeah, true.
Please
I bet
look
him
cool
and
in
Grave
game.
Camp get
Look at how cool that looks.
Oh, they probably do.
Oh my god, that
wow.
looks just as cool in game.
That is so horrifying.
Finally!
Yes.
That's exactly what it looks like.
The like skull
Yes.
face at the head of that, and the arms all bound up is crazy.
That looks amazing.
Oh my gosh, and he has the arms too on his chest that are like bound there by
That's
chains.
fucking rad,
Like
man.
Yeah.
Vulcan has skins with arms, but never like that. Whoa.
Look at the wings, the face,
That
the
is so,
arm
both
chains.
awesome and super spooky. Let's hear what the
Kinda
voice sounds
fat
like.
though? Dude, don't fat shame.
Fresh battlefield means fresh subjects. How shall I torment them all?
Look at that
All right.
go get 'em attitude.
Officially spooked. It's not Halloween
Yeah.
anymore, guys.
Yeah, but this spook never stops. It's always spook is in your heart.
gosh.
Next up, and I'm so excited about this one. We have Croaky Loki. Let's look at Croaky Loki.
What the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Yes.
I'm madly in love.
Oh my goodness. And look at his little lizard friend.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
I love the blue too. He just looks so nice.
Oh my gosh, he's actually in the
Oh
model.
my God.
Oh my goodness.
I kind of like this better
That is
in game,
so
actually. Wow.
great.
For once.
Look at his little
You know, for
tail.
someone
I think
who's
it looks
gonna
better in
stab you in the
game.
back, he looks pretty happy.
I know, right? Like he'd stab me, and I'd turn around and be like, ah, and I'd be like, oh, but you're so nice. Let's hear what he sounds like.
I'm afraid to leave the pond, but I know there is adventure to be had out there.
Oh,
wow.
I absolutely love it. He's just
Dying
ready
to a
for
frog.
adventure. And of course, we get to see it in game. Little lizard buddy.
Look at the friend.
Just hanging out, enjoying the ride.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. This skin is so... Oh! It's so
Wow.
mystical, too.
Oh no, he's chained up. I know that's like what every Loki does, but set my little guy
There's so
free.
little you can do with Loki's abilities.
Sometimes the adventures take crazy turns, but he's there for it. It's so awesome. Again, I just love how mystical it is. Like, all the poof effects and everything was so magical.
I think he must have heard how many times, like,
Your little buddy's just
us
hanging
laughing
out, like,
at how
wow,
many
this sure is-
times he said terrified.
Wow, this
I
sure is
guarantee.
great that we're killing all these guys.
Yeah.
Poison mushroom for
Hey, why,
two?
you're so
That would have been a
right.
really good idea. What the fuck?
Oh, I absolutely
That would have been a
love
really
it.
good
That is
idea.
so good.
Oh my god, the head bob. I can't. This skin's too much, you
He
guys.
didn't say it once. He has literally
I
not said
know.
it once when he said it like 18 times.
Him and Kiro
Yeah, now he's
Dog's
saying
World, that's gonna be-
spooky.
that's
I
gonna be a
guarantee he heard me talking about it.
Absolutely love it. So super exciting, and yeah, that's going to be the final skin for the Dharmic Era event. So look out for that in 9-1. It's awesome. It highlights how amazing the Hindu pantheon is, and we're super excited
Good ninja.
to share that with you and for y'all to take part in that. I think you're going to love the quests. I really do. So that does it for our new skins for 9-1. So many awesome things on the way. And we still have some awesome left in the show, though. We're not done yet. Next up, y'all get to see a little bit about Slash. But we'll get there in just a second. See y'all there.
Snowball got so much. Dude, I got so much hair on my face. Ugh. Shut up, Bistic.
That's right. We have Slash on the way. Long awaited, super hyped, and well worth the wait. I am joined again by Ajax and Clumsy. Glad to have y'all back.
Hello.
Awesome.
Hello.
So let's get into Slash. There's so many. It's a brand new map. It's a brand new game mode. There's so many things to go about. So let's start us off.
Consecrate Up is Friday for
let's get
my
into the stats. Talk
my
about it.
game. First game.
Yeah, the first new permanent game mode that's been added to Smite in many years. The goal of Slash was to kind of find the best pieces of
Let's
Siege
go!
and Clash and bring those together in one.
So it's like as
unique
small
experience that
as
stands
the
out
Siege
amongst
map,
the rest
kind of.
Smite
Oh,
game modes,
that's
right?
a
You've
mix.
got Conquest, our core competitive mode. You have Arena, which is more about the
Dude, if this
fighting,
shit
right?
flops,
And
it's gonna be
not having
bad.
to focus on strategy as much. You've got Joust as 3v3, you've got your Assault as your ARAM mode, and then we kind of had a few other modes, right, between Adventures,
Into the map.
Old Days Domination, and Siege and Clash. So we're all kind of vying for the same space, which was something that was, somewhere in between Conquest and Arena, something that focused a lot on combat.
look at the
but still had
background.
Some traditional strategic
Look at the
elements,
background of
and
the
we really thought
Egyptian.
that
Wow.
is a great place for a game mode to be. I'm personally a big fan of Siege and Clash. I play those game modes all the time with my friends. It's really nice to
Look
have
at this, like-
towers and lanes, but not to be so restricted to the roles
Completely
and
new,
positions of the Conquest map. So finding something like
camps
that
as well.
in that sweet spot was something really important to us. And Slash is our
Peppery.
brand new, all new, very exciting game mode to fit that spot. So what you're going to be getting
Ooh, look
here
at the middle
is a
area, that's pretty.
5v5 game mode where players are going to start at level 3 with 1,500 gold, kind of the standard rule set. There's no banned items, so none of those weird siege rules like where you can't buy wards and stuff like that. This game mode is going to be a true active game mode that's going to work for win of the days. You're going to be able to earn
Good
full
snowball?
XP and
Okay.
worshiper stats through this game mode. And Siege and Clash are going to be removed as queues at the time we will be implementing this, but they will be remaining as
that's the Titan.
custom games. So as you can see,
nice.
Upon our driver flying around the mode, just showing you the map, it is
that's the
Egyptian
Titan.
on one
I thought that was
side, Maya on the other, and we have a brand new animated Titan model in the Quetzal bird that we just walked past.
It looks so good.
New Maya Titan.
Maya Titan.
So many beautiful colors on that new Titan. It's just like beautiful to stare at.
Okay. So there's just so many things around this map. I'll try to go through them quickly so we don't spend too much time just rambling.
The old
all
Siege.
New environments. You got some inspiration here from the old Siege map with the ravines and waterfalls, but all brand new. We have completely new
those
towers
waterfalls look pretty.
and,
And there's like an opening you can walk
Order
over.
Titan, which is the
This map looks so nice. Look at how pretty that looks.
Lots
You can
of
look like
updates
down.
to jungle monsters.
Wait, was that
across
something
the
was
map.
moving
We
down
have
there?
the
Something was
hyenas
moving
and
down.
baboons that were from the Clash map. Those have had texture model updates.
Oh,
We
that
have
water.
New.
It kinda looks like
twists
Domination.
on those monsters as well in the new Jaguars, which are using the hyena base enemy set, but they're a new character. So you have now
Jesus.
a speed buff holder.
I wanted to
You
look
have
at the.
our
It's probably the
favorite,
Clash.
Clash Titan from the Chaos side. That is the Skull Sarcophagus Pharaoh.
Nice.
Still is the.
I like how they're animating him.
right?
I want to go look at the desert on that
He's
side
really
again,
cool
man. That
looking,
looks so nice.
honestly, and we did want to keep him. We also, of course, are keeping Apophis, everyone's second favorite giant snake after Jormungandr, of course, because Smite obviously needs
dude, he
more
looks so
than
cool.
one
I love the
favorite giant
Clash.
snake. Apophis is the key jungle boss, and we have all new Siege Juggernauts. So these are
there's Siege Juggernauts on this.
Character assets. The old
I
Siege
want to see the
Juggernaut
blue boss.
was
Because
had these
Apophis
little
is on the
minions
right.
mounted
What's
it,
on the
riding
left?
it is no longer going to be part of this map.
That's a
But
fucking blue buff.
Siege
Okay, never
Juggernauts
mind.
as a mechanic are still a very active part of this map. So really what you've got here are two lanes. You've got jungle buffs in a more traditional positions around the map. You've got Siege Juggernaut camps, which you can clear to spawn new Siege Juggernauts. You will not be able to spawn Siege Juggernauts through killing minions anymore. And you have a Apophis as a final boss, Fire Giant style boss, providing a Fire Giant style buff.
Wild Juggernaut.
Here are the new Siege Juggernauts. They're giant
look at
snake
that.
men related to Apophis.
Yeah.
So was the other thing
killing
just a
one
blue
will
buff?
See red as you
What did
kill
that
them,
blue
right?
thing do?
Spawns one, yep.
Yeah.
Spawns a Juggernaut in your lane, and if a Juggernaut is in your lane, there will also be a portal opened up in your lane. We've made a few
Okay.
adjustments to the portal tech. There's now 2 different portals, so if you do have 2 different Juggernauts, you can choose which lane you want to go through.
Nice,
And the
yes.
portal tech is no longer instant, so instead you will have a
Whoa.
fast travel. Ganesh was just ready to ult you on
Ganesh
me.
was waiting for it. He saw the
Right. The hacks, though, the infinite damage hacks, dispatched him quickly.
Both the
So a
Juggernauts.
lot of changes across this map in a lot of places. As
I don't
Clumsy
know
can
what the blue
speak
one
to,
was.
you get a lot of fighting back and forth, a lot of rotation. This center area is very open, but not as quite as open as Clash, and it also doesn't have jungle fog vision, so you can really fight in this kind of mini arena in the center as you rotate back and forth between lanes, making your ganks.
That is a
and
very
farming up
open map. I like that.
Super awesome. I love just seeing this, the map is beautiful. I'm excited for the gameplay, and I kind of love that the Juggernaut is now a big point of I guess a pivotal part of the map, instead of like when that objective comes up, you're going to see team fights around that objective to see who can claim the Juggernaut and who can get the advantage of having the Juggernaut pushing for their team. I think that's super cool, and I love how thematic it is with Apophis. I'm so excited.
No 4v4
So there's a
mode
lot
is
of
sad,
other
though.
interesting features going on in this map regarding jungle camp spawning and the kind of order of operations, which are a little bit more complex.
Looks
than
so
stuff
pretty
we've
though,
usually
man.
used.
Yes.
You'll be able to read more about this in the patch notes, but I'll give the brief TLDR. So we have a few camps that kind of spawn in different locations, and they change locations as well as enhance. And really, the reason we're doing that is we're not wanting to create something complicated that players have to keep track of, but we are kind of tactically moving the key objectives around the map to create new fights in different places and to spread things out and to split players up and kind of create new fights, new team fights at different stages in the map. So first thing you're going to see is, like Clash, the red buff in the center of the map is what spawns very first. Before the blue and yellow and the speed buffs, before lane minions, you get just a red buff 5v5 just dog pile of a fight at the beginning of the match. You can play this safe, or you can sometimes get double, triple kills. This is something that Clash players really liked. So as we were doing this merger, this is something we decided to keep. After that fight, you'll then see the blue buffs and the speed buffs and the lane minions spawn after that. In a short time later in the match, the Siege Juggernauts will spawn in the center of the map on the left and right. So you can see the one just spawned on the right first. The Siege Juggernauts spawn, they don't spawn at the same time. One will spawn on the right lane first, and then the other lane second. Maybe I'm, left and right is irrelevant depending on the side of the map you're on. But the single wall versus the double wall, they'll spawn
that's a
one
cool
at a time.
spawning
So your
animation.
team has time to rotate, take them, then rotate, take the next one. Then Apophis will spawn, and then even later in the game, 2 more sources of Siege Juggernaut can spawn, which you'll see are deeper in each player's base. This is kind of an anti-snowball feature that allows you to have essentially a safe way to attain a Juggernaut in the late game, even if you're lost some of your towers. You still have a way to attain a Juggernaut. Try to make that comeback push. So really like how the map kind of moves with the players and tracks as the game goes on. Really makes it feel dynamic and feel like there's slightly
I like how you
different
walk into
phases
the
to
portal a
mode.
bit. That's nice.
And gives you a chance to always have a comeback, always bring it back. One of the problems we've seen with Siege and Clash is the modes tend to either be extremely snowbally or to linger for a very long time, kind of stalemate. And I think a lot of the ways we've worked on these mechanics in Slash helps mitigate those problems.
That's super awesome to hear. You love a map that allows you that potential to like the objectives are always changing and shifting positions, so it's not
Hope
just
everyone
go
has a good
stand
year.
wherever the minions are standing and wait for the next interesting thing to happen. There's always something you can go after.
Oh, the
something
background
you can
looks
focus
so
on,
pretty.
and always a way for a comeback.
I love
who
the
doesn't love
Egyptian
a good
background.
comeback story or a comeback game? So, and I just
Important part of
I've
Smite
said this
is
every
to-
time I've talked.
Yeah.
No, go for it.
We want to introduce things you can do that are just fun, right? So this mode, you can play this mode and just kind of push a lane and kill whatever's
build.
around you.
Ooh,
and
the
do
Sphinx
pretty well,
kinda
right?
thick
And have a
though.
lot of fun
Woo! Sorry.
and just fight. But then there are some additional spots for
Yeah, so if
more
you snowball really
tactics,
hard,
right?
you could
And more
essentially get
metagaming
3
and min-maxing, which
3
you want
Juggernauts?
this mode to be something that can live on for a long time, and that's an important feature of that. So we've done a lot of play tests. I mean, me and Clumsy have played in a lot. We've played with a lot of different skill tiers across the company, a lot of people from different backgrounds and different play styles. And I feel like everyone has found something in this map that they really enjoy, something that really resonates with them, something they feel like they can do really well and be really effective. Whether it's Clumsy blowing up people at max range and getting huge mage abilities, or me kind of target calling and focusing on the Siege Juggernauts and which one's spawning next. You can always find something
I wish you
to
could
do.
step on the outside.
Really
and stuff.
appreciate the pawns driving around here and showing us some more of the environment. As you can see, there's some cool stuff on the outskirts of the map. We have some giant scarab beetles in the distance building this big pyramid behind the chaos map. There are camels, living camels. There's this cool
this map is so
sarcophagus
fucking
section.
pretty though,
We
man.
have these
It's like a
super
combination
giant
of
jungle trees that
Clash
are
and
even
Siege,
taller
and it
than
looks
Global
so
Ultimate. So,
good,
we had this
though.
concern about, when you Global Ultimate, you can't see through the trees. And we were like, what if we made trees so big that even when you were flying in the air, they weren't
That's
in your
so
way?
cool!
So we have these really giant trees, which give this map.
Oh, and then finally, if you're in the air, it gets rid of the
give it that
fucking
really strong
trees.
jungle feel, and really bring
It
the
better
Maya
work with,
art
like,
set to
Rama
life,
and
which,
shit.
people have been asking for us to revamp that art set for many years. So, environment team,
Whoa!
level design, just did an absolute.
What are you doing
fantastic
flying out
job
there?
on this map, and worked really hard on
Whoa!
it. And I know we
Are you allowed to
changed
fly
the
out
release date
there?
on it a few times, but we used every minute to pour heart and soul and love into this map to make it the coolest new Smite map.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't emphasize how true that is. This is one of those maps that just, as it has gone through the process, because even I've only been slightly aware of some of the processes, because this map is just always changing and being worked on.
Map is fucking sick.
Ever since every minute of this map existing has been, what can we do better? What can we make prettier? What can we make more fun? How can we balance it? It's never just sat around for a week. Like every time I hear somebody talk about
Right.
Slash, it's like, hey, we just changed 53 things in the last week. So absolutely crazy. But yeah, y'all can look forward to that. I want all of y'all, when this map is out, when y'all are playing it, I want y'all to get in there and take pictures and like screenshots of your favorite parts of the map, because it's so beautiful to look at. So I hope to see Twitter flooded with those. But But that's going to be the end of our of the update show. It's been a wild ride. There's so many new things coming out. Again, make sure to check the update notes because I'm sure there's something you missed or things that we just didn't have time to talk about because we wanted to, go to bed by 2 a.m. So make sure y'all get in there and look at everything. It's super exciting. And we're going to have PTS coming out later this week. Y'all will hear more news on that as we get things ready. So just keep your eyes on Twitter for that. And make sure to stay tuned because show's not over yet. We actually have a Slash dev match coming up on the Slash
End of show.
Map. So
what the event
tentative day one.
Action, oh yeah. Just make sure you stick around because it couldn't be more exciting. So thank y'all, everybody, for coming out. It's been awesome. It's going to be awesome between now and Sunday. Look forward for SWC. Look forward for Throwback Thursday. And look forward for the video we're about to end with. Thank you, everybody.
The video. Oh, they're going to end with... Is this new?
Our journey has been arduous. Tiamat's reign has divided us, but no longer.
Oh, this is the...
Lady Bellona, have some faith, Merlin.
Wait, this is the cinematic from the beginning.
Not ready.
Then we'll fall united.
My liege, be on your guard.
Tiamat's fucking massive in this. Okay, yeah, we already saw this. It was a cool cinematic, but I do want to go over the patch notes. Yeah, they said the BTS is coming out today. Anyways, before this ends, the video, YouTube, we're gonna quickly scroll through, look at the patch notes ourselves, just go over things that they didn't go over. Okay. So we got all the skins. We got the biggest bait skin of all time. And let's look through here. Bundles, yada yada yada. The ranked border does not look very good in my opinion, by the way. I don't know if you've seen it. New Slash map. Oh, there's arena changes. Does this count for Duel? He's just... I don't think it's... Well, it might be. But they don't. Okay, let's go, boys. Relics. So, we get a free relic. That's for the usual. Okay. And now it's 300. The upgrade, as opposed to what, 400? Was it 400 before? Yes. No, yes. No, I forget. Or was it 350? Fuck, I forget. So a tier 3 relic is 800 gold. That's a lot of money for a tier 3 relic. These things better be good. So we already know these. 500? Oh my god, I'm an idiot. It's 300 now. Okay, so it must have been nerfed, right? Oh my god, it got buffed. Ow, my finger! Ow! Wait. So it's 300 for the tier 2. I'm so confused. I need to check something. Hold on. I am all over the place. I need to double check something before we get into the relics here. There it is. Okay. So it's free, and now it's 10 seconds less. Yes, I was just confirming that. I was like, there's no way that they decreased the cost. They decreased the cost and buffed it. Holy fuck! I thought I was seeing shit, man. What? So it's decreased in cost and buffed in cooldown. Okay. Now let's read these. So the first variation of the tier 3. Using this item makes you invulnerable to damage and healing for 1.5 seconds and prevents you from taking any actions. You may still move. Each damage is prevented in time. Each instance of damage prevented in this time provides you 7% movement speed for 4 seconds. Damn, that's kind of cool. Like, oh, okay. You think this item makes you vulnerable damage? Yada yada yada. May still move. At the end of the duration, you explode, dealing prevented damage. Is capped at 50% of your max spell. That's pretty cool. Like you pop that shit during a Ymir ult? Boom. Reflect that shit back. Boom, bitch. Damage. Damn, they're just buffing every fucking relic, aren't they? Concentration buff has been removed. Other than this, I guess. Using this item grants all allied gods within 70 units 30% increased damage to all targets, including objectives decaying. It lasts for 6 seconds. Okay. Using this item grants all allied gods and 70 units all targets, including objectives. You earn a killer assist. The duration refreshes. What? It refreshes if you get a kill? So you can be just about to kill someone, proc it during a team fight, and then use it. Oh my lord. That's true, Max Help. That's true. Okay. Damage mitigation is removed, so that's just a nerf. So Blink was just essentially nerfed. Still 300 gold less. Let's see, Corrupted Blink Rune. Wait a minute. Using this item will allow you to teleport up to 45 units away instantly. This item cannot be used if you've taken dealt damage last 3 seconds. On blinking, slow all enemies movement speed and attack speed by 15% within a 25 unit radius for 2.5 seconds. That's like a support. That's like literally a support blink then. Scorching blink. Yada yada yada. Wait, teleports for 5 units instantly, leaving behind a trail of wildfire that deals 20 true damage. And he was to pass through it. What the fuck? So you leave a trail of fire from the blink distance? Okay. This is where you're blinking from? On blinking, slow enemies. I don't know. It's probably where you land, I presume. Bracer of Radiance. Power buff increased 10% to 15%. Increased cooldown, though. Item no longer functions as a sentry ward. Just a... Okay. Bracer of Brilliance. Place a radiant glow. Target location for 9 seconds. Only 20% increased power. 20% increased 86. This fragment acts as sentry ward just for the cooldown of the relic. So it's just really old Bracer. This radiant glow. Yada yada yada. Okay, it's 10%, so it's less power. Okay, so it's just less. Spraying ice sword. It's patrolling back and forth. On use, a light sprite appears patrolling back and forth. A moving ward? What? Can they see it? Like, unless they have a ward? That's fucking broke. What? Wait a minute. So that means if they can't see it, then it's just a moving ward. That's cool. Meditation cloak. Cloak of meditation. Increase, dude. Everything is getting buffed. So the increase the cooldown. Okay. Move cooldown reduction effect. Okay. Using this item causes it to save. Each tick heals occur once per second for each pulse reduces cooldown. Wait a minute. What? Each pulse reduces cooldowns for all abilities by 1.5 seconds. Wait a fucking second. Wait a second. 1.5 seconds. There's no way. Wait. So that's per tick. So how many ticks are in a second? There's 2 ticks per second, right? That's so much cooldown. That's not fair at all. No, this is getting nerfed for sure. That's 1 tick a second, but still. Even so, that's 1.5. Oh, once a second for 4 seconds. Okay, my bad. I was reading it by the tick for some reason. Oh my lord. Imagine that shit in Hebo. Boodoo, 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 boodoo. I'm assuming it's just for you though, not allies. Look at the avatar. That's where everyone's 4 seconds. You can You also gain a protective barrier of wind that explodes if an enemy comes within 15 units, knocking them back. That's CC. There's CC in that. What? If an enemy is already in it, then you just launch them away if they get close to you and then have a med proc? That's cool. Shield damage increased. Okay, so it reduces shields by 75% now. 10% increased damage taken, so it's like the upgraded version, I guess. Shield damage increase. Okay, still yada yada yada. Okay. We're blighted on. These are some enemies that are healed by god abilities. While affected by this curse, take 20% more damage from all sources for the duration of the curse. All healing is reduced by the effects. Is instead drips to your allies. Okay, cool. So it's like that starter, but like an AoE one. Nice, neat. We already saw this one. Yeah, it does the tick thing. It can spread. So increase cooldown, surprising. Decrease to 110. Remove the hastened effect off of a second tier spread. Interesting. Making you immune to slows. On use, Strike also roots enemies. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Increase the movement speed of allied gods within 55 units by 20%. 5 seconds, making you immune to slows. It roots enemies around you for 1 second. So you can sprint your entire team and then root the whole enemy team if you're around it. Interesting. Makes them immune to slows and grants haste, causing them immune base back penalty, of course. For the duration, successful basic attacks increase the duration by 1 second. For initial up to 4 seconds. Damn, dude, holy shit, this is all so mind-blowing. All these, dude, it's gonna be hard to balance all of this, though. Increased attack debuff, 25%. Added 15% decreased damage dealt debuff. What? To enemies, I presume? Okay, we'll change to that. These items slows enemy movement speed. Additionally, their damage dealt is reduced by 50%. Enemy deals 10% of an ally god's maximum this time. The debuff effects are increased by 10% each, up to 3 times. Jesus. See, their attack speed is reduced by 25% for their duration. Additionally, their damage dealt is reduced by 50%. An enemy is dealt 30% of their max health during this duration. They are trembled? What? Dude, this is adding so much CC to the game. What the fuck? Shut up, Sam. Oh my god. I don't need to hear this. And I'm not identical. I got a beard now, remember? Increased damage reduction from basic attacks 25%. 20-25%. Interesting. Decreased cooldown to 130. Fortifying shell. Using this item applies a shield to themselves. As of course, additionally, you take 50%. Shield's broken or expires. Allies get a new buff providing 20%. It's broken or expired. 20% mitigation. 20% movement speed for 3 seconds. So your entire team gets a movement boot even immediately after. Using this item applies to shield themselves and allies. Yada yada. Using this item also allows you and ally gods pass through place playing action objects. We saw that. I like that. Increased cooldown. Increased? What? Motherfucker, Aegis is now like 140 now. So now it's what the hell? Why? B's got nerfed. What the fuck? I guess every other relic is getting buffed, but chaotic beads. It makes you immune to new ones for 2 seconds. Any CC effect that is cleansed during this time, including activations, sends out a homing projectile to the enemy that applied it, dealing 7% of their maximum health. Wait, is that per? It can only be applied once? So if someone hits you with a slow and then like a mez, is that 2 shots of 7%? There's only 1. It's probably just 1, right? Dude, what if you fucking... Wait a minute. So if a fucking Neath ults, right? If you get Neath ulted, you could just and you beats it. That poor Neath is gonna get hit from across the map. Temporal beads. Using this item removes damage to makes you immune in 2 seconds. Reduces active coolness by 3 seconds. Ah shit! It's season 2 beads, bro. Woo! That's old beads. Shield of Thorns. Okay. It's a big one. Decrease reflect damage to 25%. Yay. Ooh, that's a constant now? Minus 24%? Okay. Increased cooldown. Interesting. Decreased to 25. Okay. Thorns overgrowth. I like this. If you are dealt 120, level your damage while this effect is active. The effect will end early. Wait, what? Oh, this is active. Enemies can only lifesteal if you lifesteal. Wait, is that for both of them? What? That they turn off after enough damage? Hold on here. You're dealt. Effect will end early. While this is active, enemies can only lifesteal 50% of the total lifesteal. Additionally, gain 5% movement speed and attack speed for each enemy god and 20%. That's kind of weird. This is an 80-second cooldown one. An 80-second Thorns? 35% damage you take before mitigation for the next 2 seconds. Back in its owner's magical damage. While it's active, 75% of their total lifesteal. Enemy gods reduce the cooldown of this item. What the fuck? What even is this? It only lasts 2 seconds. This is like a glass cannon. What the hell? Okay, well, we got 75% of that shield as well. Man, I always hate shields. Increase cooldown 5 seconds. 7.5%. Interesting. Reduce damage taken. Okay. Increased. Wait, what? Increased damage take. Debuff. Decrease. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sundering Blasts. Okay. Let's get to it. Fireball that travels 7 units, stopping the first cut hit splash from use. Splashing? And 20 unit radius, dealing 50% of their current health as true damage, reducing any active. It splashes and it's 15% current health as true damage and reduces any active. That's fucking busted. What? Well, it tries stopping the first god hit, reducing any extra 70% linking them to you. The next 4 seconds, they're dealt 5% of their current health as true damage every second. And you see half of that amount is healing! Enemies can break the link if they move past. So it's like an afro fucking. Oh my god, what the fuck? Dude, there's so many changes to relics. Teleport fragment. Can no more teleport to wards. Decrease cooldown. Okay. Heroic teleport. Just because I don't like these really affect the centers. Bye. Damage restored to hard crowd control. Teleporting, you gain slow immunity, 20% movement speed, and 4 protections. 10 seconds. Interesting. In place, affects on damage control. Kill and assist on enemy gods, reduce the cooldown by 10 seconds. That's. And it's only 90 seconds. What? What the fuck? So you could teleport to a team fight. And in that same fucking team fight, if you get a few kills, you can just come back full health. That is interesting. The glyph items! Look at them all, dude. Doesn't that look like... It looks fucking exciting. Woo! Glyph items, they'll have the exact same stats. There's some... All those don't cost an 600 gold. Beyond the usual tier 3. There's no level restriction. Or mount restrictions. Please get into class allows. Okay. Oh, we already saw this one. Yeah, you can silence them. That's one attack. 20% of your physical protections are converted into magical protections. That's pretty strong. Alright, Breastplate of Determination. Upgraded for Breastplate of Valor. Uh-oh. Each time you are hit by an ability, gain a stack of 5 protections that correspond to the damage type you were hit with. Up to a max of 4 of each type. 20 prots. Once you reach max stacks of both kinds, you gain of both kinds, you gained a burst of 20% movement speed. And double your protections gained by this effect for 8 seconds. After which all these effects are removed. Well, unfortunately that's not very good in Duel. But I mean, you get an additional 20 protections. Oh yeah, protections. That's interesting. When your ultimate ability is finished casting, you provide an aura in a 40-unit range around you, reducing basic attack damage from enemies by 30% for 5 seconds. What's the cooldown on it? That's gotta have a cooldown. I'm gonna just fucking play Uller, dude. There's gotta be a cooldown to it, right? There has to be, otherwise people like Uller are just gonna unlimited. The cooldown will be the ult? Oh yeah, tell that to fucking Uller, bro, yeah. That would make Uller like the best god in the game. There's no way that doesn't get nerfed to some degree. On Deathbringer, upgrade from Deathbringer. This is just Poison Star, I suppose. Poison for 2 seconds. Ow! Ripped out my hair. Critical enemies. Poison slow to 10%. Damage 15. So it's just Poison Star and 1 minus the crit chance. Interesting. Those are not considered ults. They are 100% considered ults. What are you talking about? They literally proc like Philnot and stuff. Oh, a Jotun's upgrade! What? Okay, hold on. I want to read this one first. Critical strike. Strike 1 second. RB does on cooldown except for your ultimate ability. I think they're just not including the cooldown on it, because there's no way. Jotun's Ferocity, bro. Woo! Let's go. Your next basic attack marks an enemy god. If you hit the marked enemy, or the marked enemy hits you with a basic attack or ability, gain 1 stacked. Each stack provides 2% increased damage towards the marked enemy, stacking up to 10 times. Hold on. Next basic attack marks an enemy god. So hitting or getting hit provides 2% increased damage. So you gain an additional 20% increased damage. And it's in an engagement. So once it begins, so that, at least in Duel that seems kind of eh. Unless you're like full committing. Because like the person could just hit you once or get hit and then just immediately disengage, right? Yeah, but like the longer you fight, the more damage, which is very interesting. I like that. Another upgrade from Jotun's. If you drop below 40% health, gain 10% movement speed, physical, 40% physical ability life steal. What? You got a Pele passive in this bitch? We got a Pele passive in an item every 15 seconds? Imagine this shit on Uller, dude. That's gonna be busted. What the fuck? Oh my god. That's so sick. Okay. Calamitous Ratatouille. Holy fuck, dude. Successfully hitting an enemy god with an ability calls down a meteor that lands after 1.5 seconds, dealing 100 plus magical power damage in a 15-unit radius, so it's an AoE. Damn. So you hit like a Rawl, it's not enough, boom. And we're out of the hoodie. For every 40 magical power you have, you gain 2% attack speed. Interesting. We've already seen all these changes. I think that's everything. Wow, lots of stuff to talk about. Lots of things to discuss in the comments. You guys are welcome to give your opinions and everything, YouTube. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you're excited for Season 9. I know I am. Thank you for joining me, Twitch. Anyways, I will see you next time, guys. Be prepared for a lot of crazy videos this week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.